And now on Who's Views, it's time to join JT, Paul and Third Doctor Ian for the latest headlines.
I actually write things and they appear on screen, says RTD. Yes, RTD, we're just as surprised. It's Sunday, it's the 12th of April. You're here on Who's Views with your big show. It's headlines. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Hello to Third Doctor Ian and to Paul. How are you two?
Hello, not bad. How are you doing?
Oh, yeah, not too bad, thank you. We've got another big show for everybody. Lots lined up in this one, everyone, because have you heard? Yes, those Tennant rumours have now reached the Radio Times. Thrilled.
They're very slow, aren't they?
Oh, God. It's a few months after, Paul. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yes, we're going to be looking at You Know Who. So this is your 10-minute at least warning that RTD is mentioned in the show.
Boo!
Yes, let's start the panto already, shall we?
Yeah, it's only April. Let's go, yeah.
I know, let's do auditioning now. Slap my thigh. Yes. Yeah. Yes. 12 o'clock and still no sign of dick. There we go.
It's always the case.
It's been a pantomime with him for 3 years.
It has, hasn't it? Yeah. We're also going to be looking at the BBC interview with Film is Fabulous's very own Sue. We're also going to be talking about Doctor Who and the conservatism of it. That's all in your big show tonight. It is great to see you all, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're new to the show, welcome to your big show on a Sunday night here on Who's Views. Great to see you. Thank you for subscribing. We're going to start, though, guys, with some sad news, because we've actually been told this week of several names that have been in Doctor Who that have now passed. So, this is 3 of them, unfortunately, Who viewers in this particular edition of the show. So let's get this going right now, because we did hear at the beginning of the week that Paul Seed passed on the 7th of March this year. So this is Paul Seed. Now, you'll know the Paul Seed from the Reboss operation, everybody, when he played the Graf Vindicay. Remember that, guys?
Yeah. Sherlock to me. Yeah, that stuff, yeah.
That one, yeah. And there he is, of course, in the Reboss operation now, right? He was also a director. He's directed an awful lot of material over the years. So, yeah, that was a bit of a shock, that one, for me, guys. I must admit. I met him once years ago at a convention. So
I love him in Reboss Operation. He's superb, and it's a bit of a heightened performance, but he's highly watchable. He really is. He's superb.
Yeah.
And spoilers come. I like the way the Doctor deals with it at the end. Is quite clever. But House of Cards is a show I recommend. He directed that with Ian Richardson, and it's a superb drama. Ian Richardson's wonderful in it. And then they made a really crappy Kevin Spacey version in America. Wasn't so good, but
yeah, that's not the same at all. I mean, the British version of House of Cards, and To Play the King, which came a few years after, a couple of years after. The House of Cards that shook the nation. Do you remember? It was one of those big blockbuster dramas. And do you know what? It was only years later that I realized it was the same Paul Seed that had been in the Reboss operation.
I had the same realization myself. Yeah. Partly, I think, probably because
you know who told me, Paul?
What was that? Who told you?
He did.
Oh, he did. There we are. Then.
He told me. I said, "Oh, this was you," and he went, "Yeah, that's mine. I directed that." And I was like, "Oh my God, I wish I brought my novel and I would have got him to sign it," because those were the days, Who views, where you didn't pay for autographs. I tell you. But yes, long time ago. But yes, so bad news there, everybody. Where Paul Seed passed away. So God bless him. We've also heard this week as well that Angela Pleasance, who I'd forgotten, I have to tell you, boys and girls, was in Doctor Who. There she is as Queen Elizabeth I in the Shakespeare Code from 2007. I'd forgotten she'd been in that. But Angela Pleasance, she passed away, or it was announced she passed away this week as well. Another name and face that a lot of us would have grown up with, because and also, of course, known as being the wife of Donald Pleasance as well.
The daughter, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, we're another bit of a shock there, but honestly, Shakespeare Code,
Yeah, I mean, she's, to be fair, no disrespect to her, she's in the last 2 minutes of it, and that's it. She's not in much at all. But she was
Wasted,
always, she
basically.
took after her dad, definitely, because she's got this, had this wonderful way of doing creepy acting, sort of villainess kind of horror type stuff. And she kind of followed in her dad's footsteps a little bit, which was quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Did I say she was married?
Pardon?
I can't remember what I said. If I said she was married there, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
No, I think,
my head is everywhere, everybody, as you'll be aware. But there we go. So that's Angela Pleasance there, everybody. So that's sad news. And then it's only just come to light this week as well, everybody, that in late 2025, we lost Keith Hodiak. Now, Keith Hodiak was an incredible dancer in his day, a really, really wonderful, beautiful mover. I had the privilege of meeting him many moons ago at the Salford Lowry. And he was a gent. He was absolutely lovely man to talk to. But, of course, known to Doctor Who fans as the Raston Warrior robot in The Five Doctors in 1983.
Yeah.
How?
And didn't he fill that costume well? He really did. He was actually a fine figure of a man, and he moved about beautifully, I have to say. And you can tell he was a dancer, can't you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably a ballet dancer as well, I'd imagine, judging by...
Nobody leapt quite like him.
Yeah, beautifully, yeah. I remember Nick Courtney saying he had dinner with him during making the Five Doctors, and said he was a lovely chap, which is, Nick's always good at judge of character, I think, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, yeah. They wanted a dancer, and they got one of the best in the country at the time. Yeah. So there we go, everybody. To Paul Seed's family, to Angela Pleasance's family, to Keith Hodiak's family and their friends, God bless, and we're so sorry for your loss. But the love is with us in Doctor Who. I can assure you. Assure you.
God bless you all.
Yeah.
It's the 12th of April, 2026. You are watching your big show. And I would like to thank everybody that's getting in touch this week via comments or via email, especially to Eddie Day Riley, to Golden Age Geek, to Hartnell's Ghost, to Rory Stannage, to Derek Hart, to Kevin Taylor, to Bob James, to Theodore Benton, to Steph Parker, to Dalek Shalom, Frank Chrono, The Truth Is Up There, Rocking Terry Lee, I Am Your Servant, Inspector 2363, to Digby Strawbridge, to Johnny the Cabbage, to Gary Bryant, to David Phillip, Michael Webster. Thank you all so much for getting in touch and for your emails. I'm sorry it took me a little bit of time this week to get back in touch with you, but as ever, very, very appreciated. If you would like to get in touch with us, you can leave a comment on any of our shows, or you can get in touch directly at whosviews1@gmail.com. Yay! How exciting. It's always good to hear from everybody, actually. We were talking about Keith Hodiak there, guys. Now, considering that his performance as the Raston Warrior robot was in one very special episode, I have to say, all those years ago in 1983, that character had an impact, created, of course, by Terence Dix, but had an impact on all of us to this very day, including from George IV, who came up with these.
Oh, fantastic. Lovely. Yeah.
It's glorious. Absolutely. Such a talent is George, but that's just amazing.
If you're new to the channel, we are a big fan of George IV. You can find him on X as George IV. And this is all his AI material he does. And he's very clever, isn't he, guys? Ian, you found him first of all.
Yeah, he's a lovely chap. Always happy to engage and chat. And you can suggest things to him. And he'll just go away and then come back with the most wonderful piece of generated art. And it's not like AI is just doing it for him. He's putting no effort in. It's got to be based on the prompts that he gives it, and the fact that the work comes out so high quality is testament to the way he's using the AI. I think this is
all I can say here. The Cybermen weren't that clever in the Five Doctors to get a shot at them.
Yeah, they weren't.
I let him off because it's beautiful. It really is. Yeah.
Ian, could you just check the super chats for me, because I've just missed one. One has just gone off my radar.
Okay.
But I'll read this one out from Lex. Thank you, Lex, for this one. Your super chat here saying episode The Nightmare Begins now has 22,000 views and The Devil's Planet 15,000 views. I take it that's on the BBC channel, Lex, for the America. That's very good. That's very good.
your previous one was also from Lex, actually.
All right, go ahead. Can you read that? I'm sorry, everybody,
Yeah,
but what happens here is that, unfortunately, the platform we're using, which is StreamYard, doesn't necessarily. Oh, hang on, it does. I've got them here. I found it. We've got that one from Lex. We've got this one from Lex as well. She was.
That's the one. Yeah.
She was final. Oh, I see. For Angela, she was in the final season of ITV's Whitechapel as a supernatural character. Was she?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't have seen that then because I quite liked that. Didn't it go for a while, Paul?
I can't remember. My wife quite liked it as well. I can't remember if I've got it on DVD somewhere. I think we might have because it's kind of is a Victorian-y kind of thing. I think, as far as I'm aware, that kind of thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Might be wrong.
No, the Whitechapel one was Rupert Penry Jones.
All right.
And what's his name from the fires of Pompeii? And they were set in Whitechapel in the modern day, weren't they? But they were investigating crimes that were related to Jack the Ripper and all that sort of stuff in the Whitechapel.
I think I'm mixing up with something else that's very similar to this, but I can't remember what it's called.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the John Keeley, thank you for your super chat. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you.
Evening.
So the chances of more missing episodes being recovered is a 10, even happier days possibly ahead. We're all keeping our fingers crossed here for that, John, of course. We are going to be talking a little bit more about that in this very show. So, yes, stay with us, everybody.
That's an hour added to the show, folks, so get some more coffee and tea. Okay. Easily.
Let's have a look at who's joining us in the chat. Darren Reed saying, I went to shake Keith Audiac's hand once and he just disappeared. I think you would have liked that joke. I really do. Fafty Head, hello to you. An audio sample from the American House of Cards series became the Netflix theme. Did it? Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Hello to John Mason. I hope you've had a good day at work. Hello to Pete Harrington. And hello to Hayden as well. Hayden 2012. Sheila B in the devotions is with us as well. Nice to see you. Cara the Tolkien Nerd is saying it's sad news about Angela Pleasant. The problem is that there aren't any good actors replacing them. I'd agree with that.
Yes.
Totally agree with that.
Really, she comes from a great family, though, with her dad being such a fantastic actor. Who worked with Tom Baker in a film called The Mutations, if you've not seen it. Tom's in heavy makeup. He looks like he's dressed like Doctor Who, but he's got some kind of disfigurement, which is quite interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And The Mutations by 1974, just before Tom made Robot. So.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that one. Very good.
Or a hive of information, an absolute treasure trove.
That's a really nice way of putting it. I do appreciate it. I suppose it's an old gas bag.
No way. Jess Corbin saying to us, the kind of costume that is sweat and workout. He would have been a dancer, of course. He would have been used to that because that's the sort of thing they would have worn in some of the shows he was doing at the time. Plus, of course, in rehearsal, so he would have been used to that. But yeah, because it was very. If I seem to remember right, it was very silvery, the thick silver stuff as well. That was cling tight, like a spandex.
It was very like the androids in Earthshot, weren't they? Very similar kind of.
Oh yes,
yeah. Painted silver, but it must have been freezing though out there in Wales in the slate mine, slate
I'm sure it was, and of course all he had underneath was a jockstrap. Bless him. So it would have been absolutely freezing. I love those androids of the Peter Davison era, the Earthshot one and the Raston Warrior robot, just those lovely, just blank oval.
It's so simple, but works really well, doesn't it? Such a simple idea.
Yeah.
And again, it came out of necessity, didn't it? Because they needed another obstacle to get to the Dark Tower. And it's probably one of the best things in the Five Doctors. You know what I mean? It's incredible. Yeah.
I trust Terence to come up with something fabulous and novel and new. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
They went back to it a bit, didn't they, with Androzani and Jex robots?
Yeah,
they did. Yeah. It's a shame, really.
It does work.
Yeah, I like that thing. It reminds me because he didn't really repeat it ever again, and that's very much the Davison era. I like those little things that belong to an era, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like the Yeti are Troughtons.
Yeah.
I quite like all that sort of stuff. Hello, Glenn Piper. How are you? I hope you're all doing well. Always come to you guys to see what is going on in the world of Doctor Who. Oh, well, thank you very much. That's good to know. Jack Rabbit's with us. Hello, Jack. How are you, mate? That scene from the Five Doctors is my favorite scene in the whole show. It's an incredible scene, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah.
I remember as a 13-year-old watching it live on that Friday night, the 25th of November, 1983. I'm still not busy.
I have to say, they seemed to put me off milk for a while, I have to say.
Did they really? I just remember being like this, Jack, watching it. Because we've never seen a cyber slaughter, as it were, like that.
Yeah, it hasn't. It's quite graphic, wasn't it, in the time?
Did
JMP direct that bit himself?
Yeah.
Apparently so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm very proud of it. He was as well.
Yeah. We did a good job, I have to say, yeah.
He did,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd like to say a big shout out to Kirsty and the Legion of James who are in the chat, making sure everybody's all right. Thank you very much, you two. Lovely to see you. And Ian
I
and
think
Ian.
PB's there as well, JT. I think Problem
Oh, is
being
he?
there as well.
Hello,
Yeah.
fella. Good to see you as well. And Ian Dalby's with us saying, good evening, the three investigators. Oh, I used to love the three investigators. Alfred Hitchcock, wasn't it? Was it? I think so. Mine's everywhere. Love those books, though. Used to get them from the library with the Doctor Who. Yeah. Anyway, what amazed me on the Dalek Master Plans found episodes on budget. The scene with Brian Cant looking up to a Dalek had more menace than the new series.
Yeah.
Over
And that bit was done on
over.
film. That was done on film as well, and that bit's superb. It really is.
Yeah.
And it makes the Daleks so scary.
Yeah.
And this was before Dalek Invasion of Earth, because they have a similar shot in the Dalekverse movie, the Kushima,
Yeah.
you know, the very end of it when they come out the tunnels and they chuck a coat over it. There's
That's
a similar
right.
kind of moment like that, but that was done. This was done before, wasn't it? So
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Lots of you in the chat with us. It's great to see you all. Thank you. Shamrock Particle is saying, cool. Which AI generator is he typing commands into? George, if you're in the chat, let Shamrock Particle know, because I have no clue what you're talking about.
Clearly, it's a good one. Obviously,
Yeah, no, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Does it pedal all the water?
I think he uses a couple of things, to be honest. I don't think he just gives it to the AI and gets it to come out and publishes it. I think he does other stuff with it as well. But I'll ask him. I'll find out.
Yeah. Because he's brilliant, George. He really is fantastic. And stay with us here on the channel, of course, because we've got some lovely stuff coming up that he's done for us. So stay with us. Stay with us. PB is with us. You're right. He's saying, I love that AI work. Excellent. Good to see you. Steve Braddock saying, Whitechapel was a great series. Series 1 was a modern Jack the Ripper, 2 was about 60s villains, and 3 was supernatural. Yes, right. I don't think I've seen all of 3 then, but I remember being very sort of.
I know. I'll get mixed up with it. It was Ripper Street. I think it was one that, and there's another similar one. Yeah,
because we went through a phase of similar things, didn't we? Over that sort of stuff. Remember Afterlife?
Oh yeah.
That was good. That wasn't it? We should look at that, didn't we? After 2 series of that. Do you remember with Andrew Lincoln before he got famous? He was nice.
Well, he was fighting zombies. Yeah,
he was fighting zombies. Yeah.
Did you ever watch Andrew Lincoln in Teachers? Did you ever see him in Teachers?
He was very good in Teachers. Yes. I feel like tangent coming on, Ian.
Fantastic scene in Teachers where some of the teachers are having a crafty drag around the back of the bike sheds or wherever. And they discussed Doctor Who and what they thought of the respective doctors. It was quite amusing.
You wouldn't get that today. You wouldn't get that on television today. Listen, Lex, thank you again for your super chat. Donald Pleasant was fantastic in performance as Wine Tester, also known as the villain of the Columbo TV movie. He did so many different things, Donald, didn't he? Just like his daughter, Angela, did. Really did.
I have another trivia. Sorry. Carry on. Sorry. I was going to say another trivial thing about Donald Pleasant working with the Doctor. There's a Frank Langella Dracula movie that has Donald Pleasance in it, and it's got Sylvester McCoy in it as well. Yeah.
Oh my God!
I don't go much, I have to say.
He's on it tonight, isn't he, boys and girls? He's on it tonight. He's on fire as our Paul tonight. Listen, we've got some chat here from Digby as well. Thank you, Digby. It's wonderful how each era of the show has contributed to its own distinctive monsters. Will the Cybermen get their own back on that naughty Raston Warrior robot? Has done in many of it. I mean, the beautiful thing, Diggs, as you probably know, is it's had so many fans write fan fiction about it and stuff, some of which is actually quite good, and audios and stuff like that. It's really inspired people's imagination. So good for Uncle Terry. Ian Dalby saying to us, it was Alfred Hitchcock and the 3 investigators. The leader was Jupiter Jones. Thank you for that, Ian. Yes, thank you, because my brain is at the moment is scattered. It's everywhere. So thank you very, very much. We've got another super chat here from Mark Greaves. Hi to the panel of common sense and tangents. We could have done with the Raston robot in the writer's room of Bad Wolf. Just saying. That is very good. I like that one. And we've got another super chat here from Julian. Hello, Julian Raxall. How are you? Donald and Angela Pleasance were both superb in From Beyond the Grave, arguably the best of the Amicus Portmanteau films. Ooh, very good. Sheriff Brackett with us saying, I liked Angela Pleasance in The Godsend, enjoyable little horror movie. I knew she's been in a lot of horror films because I've actually seen a couple of those.
Because she's got an interesting look about her. She had this kind of really slightly sinister look about her. Obviously got it from her dad, clearly, but wonderful actor. Great family. Yeah.
And yeah, it's all very good, that, isn't it? I mean, it's amazing. But I'd forgotten completely that she'd been in the Shakespeare Code because she was wasted because she's in it for a second.
Yeah.
And the other thing that gets me about that is, of course, the Shakespeare Code, they couldn't leave it be, could they? They couldn't let your own imaginations go. They had to go and answer the question directly in The Day of the Doctor a few years later as to why she was annoyed with him. I hate things like that. You don't have to explain everything, do you? Or do you? You can let us know.
Well, they do, don't they? They have to link everything up. They have to try and make everything join up, and they end up just writing bollocks, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Good Grace with us. Nice to see you, my friend. And Legion of James saying, personally, Amika's favourite for me was, and now, The Screaming Starts with Stephanie Beacham. Oh, I loved her. And Peter Cushing, Stephanie Beacham. I used to love her when she was on the telly. And then she went into that Dynasty spin-off called The Colbys.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Where she was supposed to be the Joan Collins. It was great when those two were on screen together. And then Katie Mara comes into it as well. Fantastic.
What was that show that Stephanie Beacham did, I think, before that? Was it some kind of rag trade type show? It was a drama, but it's like about the fashion industry. I can't remember what it's called now.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember, Paul. It's too long.
We're all getting too old now. I can't remember either.
True. Good to see you all in the chat. Thank you. Oh, here we go. Johnny the Cabbage and Legion of James saying Connie.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Well done. I knew I could count on the viewers. Fantastic. Lovely.
Yeah, our Who viewers are brilliant. They are absolutely brilliant. Listen, talking Who viewers, as I was there, about art. From George, we've got some more art here from one of our regular Who viewers, and I want to give a big shout out to Aid Mitchell. Now, Aid is also using various AI as well as traditional techniques in his art, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and he sent me some this week to stories that he's just put the titles together to. Have a look at this, because I think these are really quite good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you can find more of Aid's work from aidmitchell.myportfolio.com. And what he's done here, as you can see, he's illustrated stories he's made up called Death of the Cybermen, appropriately.
I like the Cyberman variant. I think that's
nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Revenge of the Night, Return to Earth, and then we've got The Last Time Lord, Blood in the Stones, and Lost in Time.
Wow.
I love things like this.
Yeah.
I mean, the likeness is very good.
That'd have been a good Tom and Sarah season, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Tom and Sarah, Doctor and Sarah, Tom and Liz. It'd have been a good 6-story season, that.
Yeah. So what do you think of those Who viewers? I'll show you them again. There we've got the first 3 there. Thank you, Aid, again for sending these in. I really appreciate it. I love it when I get things from our viewers. So thank you for these. There's the first 3 there. And here's the second 3. And he was telling me that he'd actually sent examples of his work to Bog Fanish, who said, sorry, no, we don't take submissions.
Well, they don't raise the bar that far, do they? They quite happily tootle along the bottom, because what he sent in is absolute quality. They're superb.
Mm-hmm.
They've been using AI as well, and some of it's been terrible. Honestly, it's been terrible. And I've got a few of them, a few of the CDs, and just really odd. It's like someone's had their head stuck on someone else's body, kind of AI. So it's not that great. Yeah.
I've got to say though, again, that Cyberman model, that's the best cyber interpretation I've seen since Earthshot.
Yeah, it's nice.
What, the one that Aid's done there?
Yeah, it knocks everything else out of the park that we've seen in new series. I think that is really, really, really good. It's like a combination of, I don't know, Revenge with Wheel in Space a little bit. I don't know. It's, you know.
Well, the ones with the Stonehenge give it very much kind of Stones of Blood vibes as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And 2 of them with Stonehenge, isn't there? So it makes you wonder if there's like you did with Ark in Space and Revenge of the Cybermen, whether there's 2 stories linked to one location or not. I don't know, but
they're using the same sets all in studio. Yeah,
it just gets you thinking now, doesn't it?
Save it money.
Really, yeah. But I love it because it shows. Well, and I hope certain people understand this. It shows that certain Doctor Who can still be inspirational, because we're still getting a lot of fantastic and lovely AI coming through. So you know,
there's a lot of talent out there that's not being utilized, which is such a shame.
Exactly. Darren Reed's saying to us here, that is what AI should do instead of all those bloody bingo adverts. Darren, they're driving me mad. Those bloody bingo. Have you seen them? They are so false. Have they done it because it's cheap and they don't have to pay an actor and do a producer and pay a director?
If I see another lucky cow ever, I'm going to scream. Yeah.
Oh, they're awful, aren't they? They're absolutely awful. But yes, Darren, I'm with you. I absolutely am with you. We've got all the comments here as well. Hold on a sec. Let me just roll this in.
But you're right, JP. There are a lot of talented people out there that just aren't getting a platform. And then you look at Bog Fanish, and there's a lot of talentless people that have got too much of a platform, quite frankly.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Margie 75 was saying they look fantastic. Thank you for that, Margie. Gosh, a lot of you still talking about the pleasances as well. Seagull 68919, is saying to us they're decent titles too. Lex Kane was saying they look fantastic, like fantastic Blu-ray covers. John Steed, lovely picks. I'd watch them if they were real stories. What else we got? Oh, you Robert Payne, hello to you. They all seem like good titles of the era. Graham is saying very atmospheric, fab stuff. And then PB himself is saying better than that lot of Bog Fanish. It's a shame that they've done PB, isn't it? What the TV show has done and say no submissions, because they used to do that back in the old days, especially when it came to scripts. And then Bob Holmes or Andrew Cartmel, whomever it was, would take the time when they could in their very busy days to read some of these things that came from fans and then write back saying, try this and try this.
But Bob Holmes and Cartmel had class. They don't.
No, true. Yeah. We can't be bothered. We can't be bothered. That's all it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think part of the problem is Bog Fanish have swamped the market so much. There's so much material, and I think they're starting to repeat themselves because there's only so many stories you can tell. And I think it's zapping originality because there's so much of it. You know what I mean? And it becomes a bit repetitive and very similar, very samey, which is a real shame.
It is. It's a real shame. A lot of you, I hope, Age, you're looking at this and you're seeing all these wonderful comments for you because they're all for you. Digby saying that Cyberman is a nice mashup of Wheel and Space and the Invasion types. So good for you. And Forbidden Man's with us saying, great picks and titles. Love to hear what the stories were about as an audio. yeah, good one, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, fine. Johnny the Cabbage is saying to us, Stonehenge needs a shop. Doesn't have one. I went to Stonehenge years ago. It's so near the motorway now.
It's in the Underhenge where the Cyberman was. It's down there.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that.
Yes.
I'd forgotten about that. Yeah. So thank you for all your comments there, Aid. I hope you enjoyed that. Hello, Wrestling Daniel. How are you, my friend? As an episode on the whole, barring Tom's cameo, I thought the 50th was kind of crap. It felt rushed. It should have been a feature-length film before a rest period for Doctor Who. Don't get me started on Day of the Doctor, Daniel. Please, I don't have the energy to talk about that nonsense at the moment. Honestly, I don't like it. I think it's overrated. Raymond Williams has just joined us. Hail to you, Raymond.
Hail.
Nice to see you.
Hail.
Yes, there's lots of comments there about Bog Fanish. And on that case, I'll just jump ahead before the next fan photograph to remind you, if I may, everybody, that when was it? I think it was either last year or the year before, because we've been doing headlines now for a couple of years. And this is our third year as a channel. So everything's all over the place now. But we have covered an awful lot of stuff. And one of the things we covered last year or the year before, Who Views, was this, which has now yesterday been republished on the channel, The Daily Heretic. So this is where Andrew's talking to James Dreyfus. And yesterday they published the insert of James's fascinating interview on the channel, The Daily Heretic, where they've taken out the bit where he's talking about his cancellation from Big Finish and how they treated him over this whole sort of trans TQ cult agenda, which is one of the reasons I can never forgive them, because they jumped on a very misinformed bandwagon. And they can't remember. And Jim was, of course, playing the master.
He was,
and very successfully. People really liked him. He tells the story about this again. So if you haven't seen his interview originally with them, you can go and see the actual excerpt about Big Finish. I'm sure they don't like the fact that it's out there again.
Yeah,
honestly, but I have no sympathy for them because it was a pathetic thing to do. Instead of standing up and just saying to these idiots, "Oh, shut up," that's why they gained so much power for a little while, and still to an extent, even though thankfully the world has woken up to the TQ cult and their ridiculous propaganda. you know, they're still not backing down, are they? You know, they're still quite loud. And they're, tell me just exactly what rights do heterosexuals not have? Because
It's just become white noise now, hasn't it? That's the thing. Yeah.
We're so used to it now.
Yeah.
We don't hear it. You're right. And we're so used to it all. And because it's meaningless, because they have rights anyway, because they are heterosexuals, so they have rights. We just don't.
You've got to be careful, Paul. You've got to be careful, Paul, because you use the term white noise, which in itself could be seen as white supremacy.
Okay, I'll say non-discriminate noise then. How about that? Is that okay? Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. There's a warning coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you want to go and see that, just that little insert, it's a great interview in itself, the whole thing with Jim, Mr. Dreyfus, because he's very honest about this. A couple of years ago, I think it was. But you can get that bit there, which is just all about the Big Finish incident. Pathetic. They really are sad. What else we got? Oh, yes. Going back to some more information I've had here as well. Now, do you remember a few shows ago, the Nate channel guys sent us in a picture of his beautiful Peter Capaldi console room he was building, which was the Peter Capaldi console, where it was basically a 1980s rondelled sort of TARDIS set.
Yes.
Well, I asked him to keep up to date with us, didn't I? If he could keep us up to date with what he's doing. He has done, and he sent us some up-to-date pictures. So here we are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he started putting lights into the console itself now and little activating bits. And I love that little bit. Yeah, where you can see all the little buttons and stuff. It's so detailed.
Yeah.
It looks lovely.
It's amazing,
Nate,
isn't it?
I hope you're with us, Nate, and I hope you get to see this. He's also sent us this.
What do you know what scale this is?
It's in scale with the character options models.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I'm with you now. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous work. So thank you for keeping us up to date. I love the fact he's put the seal of Rassilon on the console there as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And those little lights and stuff are all going to light up as well. I love all this sort of stuff because it's so blooming clever. It's beyond me.
It makes like, you know, Rassilon's got a shop like Woolworths, you know what I mean? It's got a stamp on it.
Exactly. Yeah. It is very cool, isn't it, Margie75? Yeah. It's good to see you. Who's Peanut is with us as well. Lex is saying, oh, wow, it's bloody fantastic. Yeah. And I can't wait to see the lighting up console, all the electronics and stuff back in its set of the console room set, Lex. So, Nate, please keep us up to date with everything you're doing. There he is. Nice to see you. Thank you. Who's Views? You're very welcome, but do keep us up to date. And then you can send it to me at Who's Views, care of BBC Television, London W12AQT. Thank you very much indeed.
Can I put a request in for the next photograph? Can we have your Capaldi figure in with it as well to see what it looks like? That'd be nice. Yeah.
He sent us one with the Colin Baker figure, didn't you, Nate?
Yeah. I think you did. Yeah.
That's quite nice. I love all that sort of stuff. I really do. It's just
lovely. Yeah.
Very clever. Mark Greaves, thank you for your super chat. I'm shocked that none of that TQ cult have complained about the name of the Straits of Hormuz because they're thick. Yeah. They are hypocritically thick.
You can always go to Iran and complain, but I don't think they'll be coming back.
I keep saying to them when I'm having discussions with them on the social media, why don't you pop over there in your tea towel, go on and your progressive flag, go on, but hint, get yourself a one-way ticket because you won't be coming back.
Should we rename it the non-binary straight or something instead? Would that be fun?
Yeah, you could do that. That would be fun. Yeah. I've got something else. I am your servant. It's good to see you. Thank you for that. I hope you heard you shout out at the top of the show. The good thing about rights is they're political, not real. They can be granted and repealed. That's a very good point, actually, isn't it? Yeah. That is a very good point. It's good to see you. I am your servant. Keep in touch. And we've also got here the Nate channel again saying, deal. I will send a photo of the next console update with the Capaldi figure. There you go, Paul.
Thank you very much. Thank you for indulging me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, you made an old man happy there. Listen,
less of the old. Thank you. Yeah.
Can it be with a figure of Phil as well, with a little speech bubble saying, hi, I'm a lesbian, just in case you didn't know? Yeah.
If you could run to that, I'd be happy with that. Yeah.
We don't want much, Nate channel, do we, really?
Was she a lesbian, really? Was she? When did that come out?
Apparently, I think briefly in one episode.
Okay, yeah. Very subtle it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
I've got another email here from Alan. who's one of our Who viewers, who's so enraged over the forthcoming episode for Christmas that RTD is allegedly going to be writing, that he's actually got in touch. Hi, Alan, how are you? And he's actually written to the BBC to say, look, you know, we don't want it. We don't want this. And he said to me, look, you can read my letter out that I wrote to the BBC to other Who viewers if you want. So I'm going to do that, actually. I've only got the number here. If you want to complain about any BBC show,
jam the switchboard. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. There it is there for you. It's 0370 I'm going to keep that up there while I read this letter from this email from Alan to the BBC. He said to me, I use the BBC complaints site and sent them this. I would love it for it to be cancelled. It would really be a strike back by fandom against those who have hijacked our beautiful series. Hello, BBC. I write as a long-time fan of the original run of Doctor Who. I have been incredibly offended by what has been done to the show since 2005, and particularly in more recent years. The show is utterly obsessed with sex and sexuality. The nature of the show and the character of the Doctor have been changed beyond recognition. It is a different show masquerading as Doctor Who. For these reasons, I was glad to see the recent catastrophic ratings, thinking that would be the end of it. It could have had a rest. There may be in a better climate for producing quality television. Someone could bring it back in 5 to 10 years and say all that never happened and continue from where the original run had left off. I am aghast that the BBC is letting RTD, who has delivered the worst viewing figures in the show's history by a clear distance and on a consistent basis, be given a Christmas special this year. I have also heard filming won't take place until the back end of the year. I am asking you to cancel the Christmas special. The chances of it being a mess due to the short turnaround time to get all the filming, CGI, etc. done are very high. And if we're all honest, it is likely to be a spectacular failure in the ratings due to the poor writing and the sexual themes. It will do more damage to the ability for you to find a partner for any future series. The recent recovery of 2 missing 1965 episodes of Doctor Who shows how Doctor Who should be done. Those are thoroughly excellent. Look at Christmas 2024. You had Wallace and Gromit and Gavin and Stacey on. 2 things people wanted to watch and that were good pieces of television. The ratings were phenomenal. Make something like those specials, not an RTD Doctor Who Christmas special. With kind regards, Alan.
That is an excellent letter, I have to say. And I bet he doesn't get a response.
Of course he won't.
Yeah.
Of course he won't. Yeah. And yet he should.
Yeah, he should definitely. Without a doubt, yeah.
But you know, my fear of all this sort of stuff is, of course, that they'll turn around and say, "Oh, it's not made by us anymore," and they'll just shift responsibility. When actually, in fact, it's BBC Studios for the BBC in partnership with Bad Wolf now. Of course, we are still waiting for details of what's going to happen this year because they haven't bothered to tell us yet because nothing is happening. It should be, apart from these scripts. But it's very telling because we're now in April.
Yeah.
Very strange, if you ask me.
It'd be great if it was pulled. It deserves to be pulled. That individual does not warrant any more time with his scribblings on screen. He just doesn't.
He can't do anything to make it any better, to be honest. And he'll just add more fuel to the fire and make it worse. Really?
Yeah.
So,
He'll double down because he knows it's the last thing he's ever going to do. And he knows the only people that will watch it now are the ones that are doing it for review purposes, and he'll do it to wind us up.
Yeah.
And we'll be merciless with him, and we'll never forget.
Well, we're not going to forget anyway, are we? Because he gave us the bloody awful episodes with Gatwa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just terrible. He is actually, of course, out and about at the moment, he who should not be named in Doctor Who circles. He's preparing, of course, for what we now believe is going to be the June premiere of his new TQ cult drama for Channel 4, which is called Tiptoe. If you're going to be watching it, good for you. You can let us know what you thought of it as whosviews1@gmail.com, but I don't think any of us on the team are going to be watching it at all. But if you are, there you go. We believe it's going to be in June, but there's still no news from him or anybody in Bad Wolf or indeed BBC Studios about the forthcoming Christmas special. RTD himself this week, though, has appeared in a couple of videos, if you like. One, of course, was for the BBC's Writers' Room. Did you see this? Let's show you.
My favourite thing about being a writer is the freedom, really, both the freedom in life to stay at home all day and watch daytime quizzes, which is lovely. But actually, it's when you get it working, and I've got it working, I think of things and they happen. I actually write things and they appear on screen, and that's the greatest delight, and I will never stop loving that.
Yeah, so this was basically for BBC writers who viewers, and they were saying to him, they were asking him various questions. This was one that I just thought was hilarious, because I don't believe Russell T Davies does have the ability to write. And I think that came through in just that small little snippet or from that interview from the writer's room. I don't know what you two thought of what he was saying in this.
I love that thing. He writes something that appears on television. No shit, Sherlock there. Yeah, what can I say?
Yeah, he's very lucky.
Yeah.
Pompous. What?
Yeah.
It's awful, isn't it? It's absolutely awful. PVFS is saying to us, unless you disagree with current politics, then you're suddenly cancelled.
Yeah.
That random bloke is with us. I actually write things and they appear on screen, not for much longer. RTD. Yeah. Woodhouse 122. RTD with the freedom to ruin $100 million Disney Plus deal. Lex Kane. Boring. RTD, you're a big head who loves himself. You Robert Payne. There's a lot of writers who write better and it doesn't appear on television. Yeah, because people like him just won't let them.
Yeah.
You know, it's really sad. Josh H is with us, who's going back to Alan's email. Alan mentions Gavin and Stacey and Will and Grobet getting huge numbers. Well, guess what else the BBC showed that Christmas Day, which considerably less people watched? Yes, it was RTD's new version of Doctor Who, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, Domgo wants to know what's working, Russell. The fact is he's so complacent now. He doesn't have to worry about anything. I mean, we now know that he is now beginning to start work on his next TQ cult drama for Channel 4. You know, that's in the pipeline now. He's got the idea for that, so he's going to start writing that.
Can he not write anything else? Clearly not.
Yeah.
No, you can't. You can't.
He's been writing the same thing since Queer as Folk in 1999.
If he could,
he would have done. Yeah.
If he could, he would have done, and he hasn't. So we have to assume he can't. Surely.
Yeah. I mean, we've got to remember as well that he's also said that he writes from his own experiences. Well, he can't possibly experience anything that Time Lord experiences, so he's wrong for the job. Yeah. And the last couple of alleged Doctor Who series with Ncuti Gatwa proved that, didn't it? Because basically what's gone on there is he's just taken all the TQ cult nonsense that he's so used to writing and wants to write about all the time and shoved it into Doctor Who.
Yeah,
totally wrong audience. I mean, we were saying at the time, guys, weren't we? And you can go back and can look at our stuff from the Tennant anniversary things onwards. Who was he writing for? He was writing, and we don't need alleged sources to tell us this because it's bloody British common sense, you know. And we've been saying it since those Tennant anniversary specials in 23. This is a mythical audience he was writing for, a minority audience of TQ cult aficionados, minority, which meant that millions of us who just wanted Doctor Who took the advice of the new leading man, Ncuti Gatwa, and went outside and touched grass.
Yeah. That was the most stupidest thing they've ever thought of. Never let an actor do PR like that because it's just going to ruin your product.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they felt so confident in what they were saying, and when they were insulting all the diehard fans that RTD relied on in the first place when he brought the series back, they said what they said. They insulted people in the most horrible way possible. And then you have that ridiculous drag queen, Jinx whatever, that's saying for every one that leaves, 5 will join. It shows you how deluded they are, because for every one that left, another 5 left with them. Nobody joined.
Yes.
But see, being so inclusive, it just contradicts itself, doesn't it? Let's be honest. You know?
Yeah. And I know from the email they sent me, whenever it was, last year, the year before, that they think RTD is the best thing since sliced bread. You know, because they were saying he's one of the most applauded and award-winning writers in the UK. That's from your industry. It's not from the people. It's not from the public. It's not from the Doctor Who fans. And what he's just done to the series is destroyed it. And then you give him a Christmas episode. You know.
Yeah, like we said before, someone signed that off by mistake, I think, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Another 5 series of Mrs. Brown Boys as well, probably. Yeah.
Well, that was done, wasn't it, by bloody
Yeah.
thingy, Piers
Yeah,
Wenger.
they've probably done more of this as well.
BBC. Yeah,
Yeah.
Is a contract for 34 years. Off you go.
Yeah,
Piers.
yeah,
He had to spike people, didn't he, to make sure the thing stays on. Good to see you all in the track. Sheila B in the devotions is saying to us, one trick pony. PB, one note grifter. You're not very popular, you know, Mr. RTD. Not on this channel. Toonami. JT, you'll be very surprised how many people love RTD shows. I mean, it's a sin, got the whole country talking. It did, but it was, I mean, it helped because it had good publicity, Toonami, as well. I don't think many people will remember it now. I don't think many people are going to go and see the musical version, which also has the Pet Shop Boys involved and the Rambert Dance Company involved. I don't think many people are going to see that. I think it's going to be a cult. And as I've said before, Toonami, I think it must have absolutely have killed him that he couldn't include any trans characters in it because they just weren't there. They weren't around. We had transvestites and we had drag queens, but we didn't really have transgenders, no matter what the propaganda says. So I reckon it really pained him to have to say, oh, I've got to write just same-sex attracted men and a heterosexual woman and possibly some same-sex attracted women, you know.
It's bizarre I'm writing real history, though, isn't it? That's really interesting, isn't it?
But he loves to rewrite it. These people love to rewrite our real history, you know.
Yeah,
don't they?
I mean, that's what I mean. If he couldn't do it in that, and that, like you said, must have really pained him. And it's good that he didn't do that because it's such an important part of the community, isn't it? In terms of the AIDS epidemic and all that kind of stuff, and HIV and stuff, isn't it? So
yeah, but the fact is, it didn't have. I think to this day, I don't think a lot of the general public will remember it now because it's a few good years ago, and I think they've moved on. And this whole thing, let's see how it goes on because this whole TQ cult thing is going to be very angry. And I've got some from him this week that proves the point. And he's going to be banging on about the far right and all this nonsense again because that's where he is. And I don't think it's going to get very good ratings at all. And that's when I'll come on this show and go, ha, 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 if it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, I won't care. I nearly brought back up my Chris Butty when he started talking, says Mark Greaves. I hope you're all right. Hope you're okay. And Tyler Durden Smile, you've got the freedom to write something as it appears on TV, but I've got the freedom not to watch it.
Yeah. You've really put me in for a Chris Butty, and I'm not a Chris Butty in ages.
What flavour crisps?
Cheese and onion is quite nice. Got cheese and onion. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
We've got RC did a biopic of Noel Gordon. It was deadly dull. Jason G, hiya. Channel 4 mini tease for Camel Toe with two characters uttering RTD Codswallop. They're coming for us. Who's coming for you, RTD? The Bogeyman, the Taxman, the Ghost of Christmas Past. Oh, shut up, man. Yeah.
I have to say, I quite enjoyed the Crossroads biopic thing they did with Noel Gordon. Some of it was quite good.
I just thought it was okay, but it wasn't impactful. I'm going to use that word. You know, it wasn't.
Helen Bonham Carter was quite good as Noel Gordon, though, I think.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. Legion of James, RTD rehashing his one fan fiction attempt he wrote decades ago, just reshuffles the characters and now adds in recent cult narratives for the clapping they or thems. I have to agree with you totally, Legion of James. Absolutely. It's the same show with the furniture moved around all the time, isn't it? And Pete Harrington, I have a beautiful lawn now, thanks, Fruity Gatwa. Oh, I'm pleased about that. So you can come do mine. Tell your piece. Come and do mine. It's a mess. That random bloke, Chris H. beat me, called RTD a first draft writer. He did, yeah. I didn't understand what he meant at the time. I think we all do now. Absolutely, that random bloke. Totally, yeah. And wasn't Bidmead right?
Oh, yeah. You want to say, have another go, love. Okay, rewrite it again. Okay, yeah,
exactly. John Steed, if you give a monkey a typewriter, he will eventually do a better script. And Hayden is reminding us to never forget that Whittaker was always saying Doctor Who was all about the male gaze. Oh, don't you worry, love. We will never forget that. Yeah. Never forget her, Chibnall, RTD, Tennant, or Gatwa, or Verada Setu.
That was one of her first comments, wasn't it? I mean, talk about kicking your own feet from under you right at the very start. That was incredibly stupid and ill-informed. Yeah. But then typical for her, really, you know, just with the incredibly stupid bit.
Absolutely.
Even if she had any chance, but she didn't really have any chance, it didn't help her at all. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lex, thank you for the super chat here. He was writing for himself and not for the true fans. Totally. We've got this one from Marlon Rancibia. Hope I've said that right. Nice to see you. A lot of buzz about shows like It's a Sin is manufactured. The media tell people a show is a big deal, so people watch it out of fear of missing out of the next best thing. Yeah, and they're going to be doing it again, I think, Marlon, for this particular one. but I don't think it's going to work. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I have this sneaky suspicion nobody is going to care.
Going back to Lex's comment about writing for the fans, I don't think he should write for the fans. He should be writing for a huge general audience and include the fans as well, obviously, but not just for us, but involve everyone, because it's maybe an inclusive show, surely, not just for 5 people. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
However many viewers he got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got this one for the Jason Parker saying, it's a sin, got a claim for the subject matter, not the writing. Also, where were the clones in it? They were everywhere during those times. It's a very inaccurate show. That's true, actually. I remember being terrified of some of those leather queens when I was a kid. A young man, I have to say, not a young man. Because they were great big fellas usually, like that with the cap on. Yeah, what the hell is this all about? You're right, Jason Parker. You're absolutely right. And can I just say hello to Ashley Kelly, who's in the chat with us. Hi, Ashley. Do you know when any new Doctor Who episode is coming out? No, we don't, Ashley. They have told us there's a Christmas episode coming for 2026, but there's been no confirmation at all of when it's coming. But we will be looking at it from the moment it's officially announced, so that we can have a laugh, basically.
And we can't wait, can we, guys? Yeah.
Well, we can. I think it must
yeah.
absolutely choke RTD, and there's a nice thought, that most of the conversation, if not all of the conversation about the next Doctor Who episode, is pretty much all focused on a missing episode rather than anything that he's writing or anything else. It's all eyes on the 1960s, and isn't it wonderful?
Fantastic, it really. And I mean, we've got something else coming up in a minute where he more or less mentions this. He's, not in his interview, before the interview, as they're getting ready for it, and he does say, "Oh, and now we've got 2 brand new 1960s episodes," or words along that effect. It must. There is in this interview I'm going to show you in a second. Well, not show. I'm going to illustrate in a second. He's very subdued. And I'm looking at it thinking to myself, why are you subdued? You've got all this usual powerful crap going on. And I think it's because he's just had a massive slap to the face, proverbial slap to the face, because fandom came back together over the Daleks Master Plan, Return of the Episodes, and Film is Fabulous in a way it never did for him, even in 2005. It came together. All the aspects came together to watch these 1960s episodes, and they must have been huge. Before we get into that, though, I want to show you this. For the man who once said that he doesn't use social media, you'll all know he does a lot. This was on his Instagram just this week. Look at this. Russell T. Davis, 63, Tiptoe on Channel 4, coming soon. This clip, this picture here, it's a clip, I'm not going to play it yet, is from episode 1 of 5 episodes with Alan Cumming as Leo, out on Canal Street with his old friend Melba, played by Paul Rees. What a cast. Yeah, and then David Morrissey, who's in it as well, comes back saying, "So proud to be part of this. Here it comes," replies RTD. And then somebody called Tom Reed Wilson says, "Ineffably excited. Thanks, darling," replies RTD. So
Can I have a bucket, please, to vomit in? Thank you very much.
Exactly. I have to say, the clip from his Instagram there said it all. I am absolutely right. This is going to be a very angry, from RTD, piece of work, and it will all be about the rise of this alleged and mythical far right that he's insisting on, and that they're all insisting on now, including that idiot that he mentioned at the awards recently, who's running the Green Party. If you're voting Green, I'm going to ask you, wake up, don't, because they're dangerous. Knock it off, do your research. That's me. I shouldn't say that, really, should I? But I will. But anyway, you've got all this, and it's going to be like that. And it just looked again like what I've seen from him before, and the words were just. It wasn't on for long either. It was seconds. But there was another interview, and I'm talking about this particular one as well, from the Pepperpod team on YouTube. This is French, because as we reported very recently, last week, the week before, he was part of that whole thing in France, wasn't he, for the TV industry, and where they all go and talk about things and pat each other on the back and tell them each other that they're all wonderful. So this was the Series Mania show over in France. RTD was there, and he did this big interview. We covered it extensively a couple of weeks ago. Well, on the back of that, he talked to these people and this thing. Now, I have to say that this young lady here, whose name I don't know, I'm sorry, but I don't know her name. I think she must be some sort of student or something like that, learning her craft. But he was so condescending to her, and he didn't seem to have any interest at all. And he just came across to me as incredibly fake, very fake. And this young lady as well, she was laughing at him all the way through. Not as though she was basically just laughing to show an interest in him or to butter up his ego, because nothing he was saying was funny. And she was asking silly questions like, what would you in 2005? Why did you do this? When you were 10, what would you have thought you were doing here? What are you going to be doing in 2027? It's silly questions. What this man needs is someone with the balls like myself to turn around and say, why did you take a 60-year-old science fiction show, the longest science fiction show in the world, with one of the most successful fan bases ever, and kill it? What made you put your far left agendas and politics and ideologies and propaganda into something called Doctor Who, which had been known around the world as a sci-fi show? What the hell were you thinking? But nobody's going to have no one's going to ask him this sort of stuff. So basically, he's sitting there with this poor young lady, and she's just, she's not understanding that he's being very, very sort of, I don't care about you, another person sitting in front of me. I don't care, It's terrible, Paul.
I thought her enthusiasm for Doctor Who was very interesting. She seemed to be a genuinely keen fan, and actually said in the interview she'd went back to watch classic Who, and she loves it, and she's excited about watching the Master Plan episode. But I thought it was wonderful, because in France, Doctor Who I didn't think was that big, but obviously for some
it never took off, did it?
Yeah. So
it never took off. Yeah, I remember in the wilderness years learning all about this at the conventions I went to in the 90s, and how various people, whether it be Terence or Barry or even John, Nathan Turner, they would say they always struggled to get the thing off in France. Even City of Death never helped. Yeah, which it wasn't supposed to do, but it never hit in France for some very bizarre reason. To this day, it hasn't hit in France.
Bizarrely though, didn't they do like some kind of documentary on the making of Mind Warp with some kind of French film crew? Which is a bizarre thing to do for some TV show in France. Maybe it was a way to try and promote Doctor Who, I don't know. But I remember seeing that on the Trial of the Time Lord Blu-ray set, and it's just weird seeing them being interviewed by French interviewers, and they've got behind-the-scenes stuff for Mind Warp. It's really weird.
Wasn't that the thing they did, though, to try and promote it in France, to try and get it going again? And it
may have been, yeah.
Every couple of years, as far as I'm concerned, 2 years, and the stories I was told in the 90s, was that every so often enterprises, which became worldwide, which is now studios, would try and push it into France again, and it still to this day has never taken off. The French just do not have any time for that sort of science fiction. It's probably
too whimsical, I think.
Yeah, it was English or British.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that's going to get like the French channels backs up and pissed off and not looking at stuff, it's going to be something that's British. They just won't. Those enmities will stay. The French people themselves, probably most likely not. But the actual, the channels, the stations, and all those kind of things, and certainly the government, then no, they wouldn't. No. So it's probably pure racism.
Exactly. There's lots of questions that we could ask, and I'd love to ask him. So Russell, if you ever want to come onto Who's Views and talk to us in an honest and grown-up manner, you're very welcome. You can email me, whosviewsone@gmail.com. I've got a couple of people who also want to talk to you, by the way. Mark Greaves for Super Chat is saying, one of the questions I'd ask is, when you realised you wasted 100 million, how did you feel? Oh, my goodness. This was the interview I'm telling you about, everybody, though, where he was very sort of subdued, really subdued, but he couldn't help himself. This poor young lady does ask a question. Do you have any message for your LGBTQ French fans, of which there won't be many? And he can't help himself, of course. And he goes on again about, get ready, they're on the way. We're going to need to, basically he's telling people, it's a call to arms, isn't it, Paul, what he's saying there? Again, he's basically saying, you're going to need to be ready. We're under attack. What an idiot. He's scaremongering again, this time in France.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed some of the interview up until that point, and I thought, oh, here we go again. We're
Yeah.
just you can't leave it alone, can you? You can't just talk about Doctor Who, can you? Really.
No.
But what did really tickle me, I said in our private chat before we came on, the French accent makes shooty sound like shitty, which shitty gatwa, which I've always said that, to be fair. But
Yeah.
it's kind of, the French accent gives it that kind of slightly that nuanced sound to it. So
Exactly.
shooty sounds like, yeah. So I think that made me laugh. It was probably a backhanded compliment, you know. But
Mhm. Yeah.
Can we have a look at that photo again, JT? The last one you put up. I mean, for a start off, he's wearing glasses and he has a pair of glasses clipped to his shirt. What a prat. But he looks like he's having a severe stroke there, doesn't he? I mean, I just look at that and I think, if only, really.
Yeah.
But
Listen, can you two just keep chatting for a second? I have to exit and come back in for a minute. Okay, so you two keep chatting about
oh, a tangent.
I'll be
a
with
tangent,
you.
superb. Okay, where do you want to
stick to
start?
the RTD stuff, and I'll be with you in just 2 seconds. Okay.
Okay. I do think
so.
he's.
Yeah, so I thought watching the interview. Did you watch any of the interview at all, Ian?
No,
Have you seen?
no.
I did watch it, and I found what I did find interesting about it was that her enthusiasm was so good, like I've said already, and it started off being quite interesting. I thought, oh, it's okay, and then it got into the then question about the cult, which was a bit disappointing, to be honest, but hugely predictable. And it's you can't just move on from that, and let's talk about Doctor Who, something that's interesting. Talk about Doctor Who the way it should be, you know, made for fans or made for a general audience. You know?
Before though, isn't it? Is a one-trick pony. It's the only thing that he can talk about, and she probably got on his wrong side if she was mentioning that she'd watched the classic series, because he's not going to want that. He's not going to want people to go back and watch the classic series, because of so many have found in the last week or so, it's really rather good, you know, compared to the toss that's been served up in the last 20 years. And he's not going to like that, because he's also not been able to go back and insert bits of his version in the old stuff like they have done so many other times. She'll have gone back and seen unadulterated classic Who, and he'll hate that. So
it's a shame. I mean, as you were saying, Paul, at the beginning of this, he's very subdued.
Yeah.
He's quite calm. I just didn't like the tone he had towards this young lady. He's totally disinterested. He's very up himself. And I just thought, oh, this is a different RTD. He must have been aware of what was going on with the Daleks master plan, because this is a couple of weeks ago, of course. And something strange. And then he goes on at the end about, oh, you know, the usual blah blah blah, the TQ cult, blah blah blah. It's ridiculous. But you can go and see it there if you want, everybody. And I wouldn't recommend it.
Had been a drag queen interviewing him, he would have been entirely different.
Oh, totally. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He would have been. Yeah. He would have been.
I'm surprised Tea Coffee wasn't there. Yeah.
What would be the French equivalent of that?
Yeah.
I don't
Tea Cafe,
French.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of something, but what would be the French equivalent of tea?
I've never met. Oh, yes, I have. There was a PB. There was a French drag queen around in the 90s in London for a while. Do you remember him? He was actually quite good. He was another one that sang live, but the bugger always sang in French. So none of us knew really what he was talking about, because he was winding us up. It was part of the act. And he always sang in French. You know, and it will be like, oh. Can't remember what his name was. Anyway, it's probably all been killed by that old Crohn's drag race now. Anyway, we're going to move on, because I've got some quick news for you all about the BBC. Yes, not content with delivering 50 channels on YouTube, and allegedly, yes, you will have to have a BBC television license to watch them in the UK. We're still waiting for the official confirmation. Yeah. But not content with that, you now have to put up with them when you get on a plane. According to Deadline, BBC Studio launches the first ever airline streaming service. Aren't you all excited about this? I know you are. Yes.
Will that affect the plane's navigation, no?
It will if Gabba comes on. BBC Studios has created what it is calling the first fully rights-cleared streaming platform developed for airlines. BBC iPlayer has been developed with Panasonic Avionics and will provide in-flight entertainment with BBC Studio shows. BBC Player will have different sections, including BBC Earth, BBC News, BritBox, BBC Kids, and CBeebies. BBC Studios is terming the player the first fully rights-cleared streaming platform developed for airlines. It speaks to the BBC's desire to generate more commercial income, which has become a crucial strategic play as license fee income declines. Growing BBC Studios to maximize commercial returns while nurturing the BBC brand was flagged as a key priority in the recent BBC annual plan. Zina Nifiyayotolyoba, sorry, I can't say that. SVP Out of Home and BBC Commercial News at BBC Studios said launching BBC Player with Panasonic later this year will be transformative for the in-flight entertainment industry. BBC Studios continues to drive innovation and is the first studio to bring air travelers a state-of-the-art, fully rights-cleared streaming platform whenever and wherever they fly. She added, passengers will enjoy a continuously evolving library of the best stories from the BBC, enhancing their in-flight experience with a service that they will instantly recognise, trust and love.
I hope they've got plenty of parachutes on the plane so you can take your choice if you want to get off the plane. You know,
Trust. Do you trust the BBC?
Again, if they can do it on an airline, why can't they charge for the iPlayer out of the UK?
Yeah. Bizarrely, it's a captive audience, isn't it? That all the doors are locked, they can't get off. That's like it forces people to watch it. It's like that scene in Clockwork Orange when you pop your eyes open like that, isn't it? A bit like that.
I just don't understand them at all. Now, this will be getting a lot of revenue in for them. But I just think, come on, you know, I just think it's cheeky. These are the programs that have been paid for through decades, generations of British people. And here it's all cleared and yet they won't do it down here. Do you know what I mean? It's all right in the air, but it's not.
I looked at what you were reading there, and it reminded me a little bit. It's stranger things that pop into your mind, especially when you're as sad as we are. And it reminded me of the Mac Hulk novelization of the Doomsday Weapon and IMC, the company. And it was doing the background of the guy in charge of the IMC expedition. And he had an IMC job, wore IMC clothes. He had an IMC house with his IMC wife. And it's just like BBC this and BBC that and BBC that. It's just it's quite insidious, really. I don't like it.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, but there we go. As you're saying in the chat,
IMC are nicer, though, aren't they?
Yes.
As the guys are saying in the chat, there is no escaping them. Social engineering in the sky, says Dalek Shalom.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Harrington is saying sleeping pills for flyers. One look knocks you out.
Yeah. Cure for insomnia. Yeah.
PP was saying even on a plane, he wouldn't watch it. Yeah. Kevin Taylor saying to us, just as well, they have sick bags on planes.
Yeah. Stop the plane, I want to go off. That's what people were saying. Yeah,
exactly. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? It's awful. It's really terrible. But again, I mean, it shows you how desperate they are, everybody. You know, this is what they're now doing as well. Oh, we've just sold it to the airlines. We've sold our programming to the airlines.
I wonder how much it'll cost to certain airlines that, you know, charge you for air and for extra luggage and, you know, a seat and that kind of thing. You know, that it'll be very expensive to watch it if you want to, you know, on an Irish airline that shall remain nameless, but they charge for everything, don't they?
Yeah.
Oxygen is next, apparently. So
yeah. But yeah, don't give them ideas. Honestly, these people are lunatic. If the BBC is playing on the plane, I'd still get up and walk out, said John Stees. Hello, Mace4. It's good to see you. PB is saying to us that the CNN have the American airports. The BBC is going in on the carriers. Propaganda piped in. God, yeah, especially the news service. It's going to be terrible. And Mark Greaves, thank you for your super chat. You'll have passengers praying for a oh dear. Pete Harrington saying passengers will be asking for parachutes.
Yeah.
And Digby saying, I think I'll just take a book and read. Yeah. Hello, Dongo. You're saying to us 20 years from now, the only way the RTD2 era will be remembered will be, do you remember when Doctor Who got all gay and shite? Not even gay. It's TQ cult. Yeah. Because you know, homosexual fans don't want all this crap in Doctor Who. We don't want it. We don't need it. We never did. It's all the fault of RTD. You know, really did. And Holson, hello Holson, nice to see you. I'm going to start using the ferry. Yeah. And Dalek Shalom saying, imagine watching the story and the engine on a flight to Nigeria and expecting Nirvana. Can't really. I can't.
Strange description there, I think, yeah, allegedly.
I know, yeah. We're going to try something different for the show now, actually. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to have egg all over my face. But I'm going to press this button and see if it does. Yes, there it is. It's a poll. It's a new thing, everybody. It's a poll. I hope you can see that. And the question this week is, what are you more interested in? Returned episodes or a new series of Doctor Who? Now, you can start to vote now, apparently. There you go. So have a look. You can start to vote there. I hope this works because we've never done this before. So there you are. What are you more interested in? Ooh! It's going up there. Ooh, that was fun, wasn't it, everybody?
Quelle surprise. Yeah.
Yes. So far, we've had 8 of you voting here. What are you more interested in? 12. Returned episodes or a new series of Doctor Who? Let us know. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this now I know that it works.
It's all ones. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we've had 27 people so far, 31 people so far saying returned episodes. Keep it going, everyone. We're going up to 36. We're going to carry on now. We'll let you get on with that for a couple of minutes. But that is a poll for you.
Yeah.
John Steed, it needs to be number 1, not the word 1. Otherwise, it might not count, I don't think.
What for?
John's written the word 1. I think he needs to have
yes.
number 1. Otherwise, his vote might not count.
Yeah. I don't know how it does that. But 48 of you voting so far. Keep it coming as we carry on. And I'm glad.
Do you wonder if anyone will vote for Return of the TV show? That'd be interesting to see what. I doubt it.
I don't think so, Paul. Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah,
While you guys are all doing that, oh look, we've got a couple of people voting for a new series. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
I'd like a new series as long as it was a new production team, a brand new production team, and a couple of years down. By that I mean off air, dark. You know, a couple of years
to be honest, though, missing episodes with the recent returns, that feels like a new season of Doctor Who, doesn't? Let's be honest. You know,
well, it did on our channel because we did a load of shows for it, didn't we? Really, and it really was more exciting than covering what we just covered over the last couple of years.
And to watch all 3 in a row, superb, absolutely superb.
Wasn't that fab? It was a joy, wasn't it?
Yeah,
good. It's great to see you all in the chat as well. Hello to Swirly Sound, Dystopian Nightmare as well, who have joined us. Hello, you. Radium, hello to you. Terrified Monk, good to see you all. Mace 4 is saying to us, it's all about good scripts and acting. The Doctor's sexuality isn't relevant. The Doctor never had a sexuality, though, Mace 4. I'm very, very, very protective of that. He was an alien. It was beyond him. The Newport TARDIS, it's good to see you again. Hello, hello, hello. Digital Pollution, stop cheating. As you lot vote for that, we'll close this in a second. So make sure you're all voting there in our poll. What you're more interested in: the return of episodes or a new series? And don't be shy. If you're more interested in a new series, then vote for it, because that's what we're all about here on Who's Views. We're going to carry on now with this from social media, and it is from the Tenants. This is from David Tennant's Instagram, everybody. And as you can see, there he is with Billy Piper and the Fonz himself, Henry Winkler. Now, I would imagine this is from some sort of Comic-Con, guys.
Yeah.
Because that's the only place I could see. However, of course, the speculation from the David Tennant fans from this one little picture on David's Instagram, they went mad with this, of course, everybody. And of course, what they were saying was, oh my God, Henry Winkler's going to be in the Christmas special.
Yeah, he's playing Davros, apparently, yeah. So.
Did you see this?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, right, okay. I saw some of it going, oh my God, this must be from them getting ready to film. And I just thinking, what? Where did you get, how did you jump to that? I don't know. I just thought, what? John Roberts is saying Henry Winkler is such a lovely guy. I've never met him. I'm glad you have, John. Never met him.
He was great in a series called Barry.
Barry?
About a hitman in America. It's sort of like semi-drama comedy. And he was Barry's drama teacher and ran through all series. He was really, really good in that.
I always loved him as the Fonz. Superb. Very funny.
Yeah, I remember that from when I was a kid. And Ezra Goldstein is going, eh? Hey, hey. All right, I get it. And thank you for your super chat, Lex. RTD on the video still looks like he was attacked by the Daleks with face being shocked. He did look a bit shell-shocked, I must admit. He did look a bit shell-shocked. Suddenly the Fonz has lost his cool, says Domgo, and Digby is saying, God, Tennant looks scary. I'm afraid he does, unfortunately. But yeah, so this was, I just thought, oh my God. And it must have had some sort of effect because, of course, as you know, the media watches everything to do with the fans. So they used to just watch the message boards on certain Doctor Who websites, but now they've moved into looking at social media, especially Instagram, TikTok-y, Facebook, and X. Not so much X because they're all a bit, we don't want to do X. We go to Blue Sky. Oh, piss off. And then you've got all that nonsense. And then they look at shows like All of Ours, of course, as we well know, because they've actually taken quotes of mine from the shows and put them into their stupid articles, which is always hilarious, but I wish they'd pay me. And then you've got all that stuff going on. But because of that one picture, boys and girls, and the fuss from some of the Tennant fans who seem to be totally deranged. I'm sorry, I love you, but you are deranged. You jump one and one equals 5. I don't get it how you jump to certain things. But it got into, of course, yet again, the Radio Times. Could David Tennant return to Doctor Who at Christmas? All the clues and theories. Another return? Surely not.
Please not.
Unbelievable, isn't it? It goes on with this. It may still be a while away, but theories are already swirling around this year's Doctor Who Christmas special, including whether 10th and 14th Doctor star David Tennant could be back for more. I mean, I keep forgetting everybody. I'm going to stop the poll now, everybody. Thank you very much.
How do we do?
Yeah, okay, I'll go into that. The only reason I'm stopping the poll is simply because it hides my graphics, which I didn't realize. I didn't realize it was going to be down there. Let's have a look at this. We had 68 of you, which is 99%, saying you were more interested in return episodes, and one person, thank you for that, thank you for your honesty, said a new series, which is one page. So I can actually move it here. Actually, look at this. Woo! Look at that.
Ooh, yeah.
All this new stuff I'm getting used to. Actually, look at this. I can also put it up there. We won't see Ian that way, so we'll keep it down there.
You're coming out Ian's ear when you do
that. But that's good. Thank you very much for that. So that's really good. I know it works. So I'm going to stop the poll there. And then to tie in with this particular story we're talking about now, I'm going to do another one. Would you want another David Tennant Doctor Who return? Very simple. Yes or no? Go. Start popping in as we look at this particular story now from the Radio Times. Here we go. We've got showrunner RTD is set to pen the festive special, allegedly, which comes after the twist that saw Gatwa's departing Doctor regenerate into none other than Billy Piper. But haven't Tennant and Davis both said the 14th Doctor is retired and won't be back? Well, there are a few things making fans think otherwise. A recent blog post from Unit on the Doctor Who website had fans wondering if the Christmas special might actually be a sequel to the beloved episode Doomsday. See, this is the other thing that's getting me about this. It's always the same stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
The post reminded logged-in users of the Rose Tyler 2006 cold case, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And it begs the question as to why Doomsday is being referenced now, unless there's a reason for it that hasn't been revealed yet. I mean, the Poor Radio Times acts as if anybody actually really, really cares. It carries on by going, it hasn't passed fans by that the Doctor Who social media accounts have been sharing plenty of David Tennant content, including, most recently, a throwback to the trailer for his first season, complete with the old logo. Plus, BBC Three recently shared the love too with their own Tenant at 20 night, which we talked about last week. There could be many reasons for this, of course. There's never been a bad time to celebrate David Tennant. Really? It's also been 20 years this year since his first full season as the Doctor, so this could be certainly explain it. But could it also be teeing us up for a return? Very possibly. The final, the final 60th anniversary special, The Giggle, made it clear that the 14th Doctor hasn't gone anywhere. He's hanging out with Bonnie Langford's Mel Bush. So in terms of what's possible within the world of Doctor Who, it would certainly make sense for the 14th Doctor to meet the 16th Doctor, if that's what Piper is going to be. It would also be a huge treat for fans who loved Tennant and Piper's pairing the first time round, and the pair are still clearly good friends. What puts a slight spanner in the works is that Tennant has strongly implied that the 14th Doctor is retired, and that he has no plans to return to the show anytime soon. But if he's done it once before, anyone who knows Tennant's love for Doctor Who surely wouldn't be surprised to see him return again. The actor, who recently raced to watch the recently recovered episodes of the Daleks' Master Plan, has made no secret of his lifelong love for the show. Could that influence him to return again? Stranger things have happened. And of course, that tied in with that video, I don't know if you saw, of Georgia Tennant put out on her Instagram, this video of her acting. She was acting and she's looking at the camera going like this, all this sort of, looking as though she's fed up. And all you can hear on it is the William Hartnell title sequence starting and that music and David Tennant going, oh God, as he's watching the Daleks Master Plan, and she's going, yeah.
What does it mean he raced to watch them? I mean, they were available at the same time for everybody else. That means we all raced to watch them as well. Only we didn't race, did we? We just waited, they were released, and we watched them.
Yeah,
I raced. I was there immediately. I was like, honestly,
you were there 10 to 6 with,
I was, just about. Actually, I went on 7:30. That was a bit more reasonable.
Yeah.
They were still very early, I have to say, but
yeah. But that's the race, isn't it? That's the racing. But I mean, I don't think we're going to get rid of this whole thing of could Tennant be coming back? But do you know what? I think it harms the show because I think it's a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
Now, David Tennant will come and rescue the show. Well, he didn't last time round, did he? He's done his stint. He came back for the 50th. He came back for the 60th. And now he's going to come back for the ending of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a joke. And I don't think it will bring the public in anymore. I don't know what you guys think about that. But I just think it's play with the public as over, Paul.
It only ever so slightly brought a little bit of a rise in the ratings after the Jodie Whittaker era, so it's a little bit of a rise in ratings, but not much. But it's been used too often, isn't it? He's done it too many times, and like I've said many times before, even as Tom Baker was going to come back again, I adore Tom Baker, but I don't want to see him again. We need to move on from Tennant. We need to move on to something new, somebody new, and forget all this 14th Doctor retired crap, all this bioregeneration nonsense. Because all this, he's retired, that's just nonsense. The Doctor would never retire. That's just nonsense. It really is.
With the first 4 Doctors, it was always forward looking. You'd have your occasional retrospective with the 3 Doctors, and that was pretty much it, really. You'd have returning monsters, of course you would, and Davros came back as kind of like a continuation with Destiny and everything, but you never really had any of it. You didn't even really go back and see any previous companions either. It was just constantly, and it's gone too far the other way. But I mean, if Tennant was coming back and they were about to film, then the first sign is that he'd shave his beard off, wouldn't he?
Yeah
Possibly. Yeah. Can I just say hello there to Yum Kentucky Fried Santorin?
Delicious. Yeah.
Shades of shock eye there, I think. Do you remember that when he was trying? Have you ever tasted a Santorin? Doctor Who jumps the shark, says Kentucky Fried Santorin.
Again.
Yeah. Nice little avatar there as well. Very Moffat, isn't it? Taking a warmongering Santorin and putting it into some sort of outfit that doesn't suit him at all. But well done, Kentucky Fried Santorin. It's lovely to see you. Welcome to us. And Mark A. Rice is saying to us, I tune into the channel live for the first time in weeks. Where have you been, Mark? And I see you've redecorated. I like it. Yes, we have. We've redecorated for our 3rd year. And I'm glad you do like it. Yes, lots of changes. And our shiny new logo as well. So, yeah, good to see you, Mark. There's the poll. Johnny the Cabbage, and let's have a look at seeing what you're saying there. Absolutely. We're asking you, would you want another David Tennant Doctor Who return? Currently, 3 of you have been extremely honest. Again, thank you. And there's nothing wrong if you do with wanting him back. 3 of you have said yes, you would, while 58 of you have said no.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that open for a couple more minutes as we go through, guys, some of the more of the chat from our friends in the chat. No, please make it stop, says Pete Harrington. The only Tenant I like is the beer. In Glasgow, I used to have to walk, Pete. When I lived in Glasgow years ago, I had to walk in the East End of Glasgow past the Tennant's brewery.
Yeah.
On Duke Street in Denniston in Glasgow, to get to and from work or to and from the club or to and from town. And I used to walk it. And it was terrible because at the top of Duke Street, where there are now some very fancy modern flats, Pete, was an abattoir.
Nice.
Yeah. And then you walk past the abattoir and the next thing you know, you've got all the hops and stuff hitting you from town. You get used to it after a couple of months, honestly. Anyway, there's something for you. You didn't
Well, I
know that.
remember on the Tenant's cans, used to have a lovely lady on the front of it. Remember that?
Yes, and they had to stop
Yeah.
those, didn't they? Because of those lovely
Hugely
ladies.
sexist. Yeah.
Yes, and their bikinis. Yeah. Anyway, John Steed saying to us, not Tennant at Christmas, I'd rather have Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi. It's this assumption, isn't it, John, that, Tennant is the most popular of the modern Doctors. And I think people would rather watch Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi. The problem is with those two is that they're actually very busy as well. And you probably never get them now.
I'd rather see a new guy myself.
Sorry, Paul?
I'd rather see a new guy myself, a new actor. If anyone will touch it with a barge pole, probably not. But yeah.
Well, we've said here on the channel, haven't we, Who Viewers, that what we would like to do, this is a great opportunity to have the one-off, which could be the closing act of the modern version of Doctor Who with Paul McGann.
Yes, please.
But I don't think that's even crossed their tiny little minds.
It's too late now as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
It is, yeah. Juliana saying this is just desperation by certain fans. It's very sad. Holson is also saying to us, Tennant becoming a turd that won't flush. Shamrock Particle, good to see you. Hiya. And RD Model Builds and Films, nice to see you as well. Hope all is well with you. Hope it's all is well. Mordrin Brown Bread, hello. Welcome. Nice to see you as well. Lots of you voting in this. I love this little votey thing. Don't you swirly sound? I love it, Colgris. And I think we're going to use a lot of this. We might have a poll of the show, the poll of the week every week. What do you think, Who Viewers? What do you think?
That sounds good. Yeah.
Good idea. Yeah. Hopefully.
Have you had to pay for this? Get your money's worth, definitely. I have to say.
I think Problem Being has said this in the chat as well, but he's absolutely quite right. 250 watching the show at the minute, so get those votes in. Yes,
please do. It's all for fun. As I used to say on The Big Breakfast, that was a show. I went to 2 of them live in the morning. I was like that. Where am I? The only reason I got tickets is because Chris Evans nearly ran me over. Anyway, that's another story for another time. Marlon and Rancibia, is that right? Marlon and Rancibia. Happy Days originated Jumping the Shark to describe a show's sudden and drastic drop in quality, something we're very familiar with. Thank you for that, Marlon, because I wasn't aware of that until a couple of years ago. When somebody explained it to me, and it was because I was hearing it all the time, and I wasn't aware of that episode of Happy Days. So thank you for that, and keep reminding me. And Josh is saying to us, stop making sequels to episodes 20 odd years ago, RTD. Yeah. That's a great point, isn't it, guys?
Well, yeah, back to the thing, who's that aimed for? If we're not allowed to watch it, or fans aren't allowed to watch it, it's not for us. Who's it for? Who's it for?
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Huggy93777, it is good to see you in the chat as well. Thank you. And Woodhouse122 is saying to us, the poll is like the Opportunity Knocks clapometer from when I was a kid in the 1970s. Hey, Woodhouse122, now I know it works.
Yeah.
I can be very mischievous when the show comes back, can't I? Ooh.
Oh,
this is what we
fun.
call interactive TV.
Yeah.
Take that, BBC. Oh, I love it. What else we got here? Marie UK, there's never been a time to celebrate Tenant. Ooh, what a bitch, but I love it. That's very, very good. And Digby saying to us, dear God, can RTD please stop effing cannibalizing his own work? Who among the general public or the majority of fans will rush to watch this? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And Jason Parker is saying there's no such thing as the 14th Doctor. It's just 10 and equally annoying as ever. Bin it. Yeah. I'm so confused now, Doctor Who Universe, who's in the chat with us, about all these numbers and stuff. I can't get over it. I just don't like it. And there is the Doctor Who Universe. It would be a true testament to RTD's legacy with the show that his most popular run was fronted by David Tennant, and he could be bowing out on the same note, circling around like a goldfish in a bowl. Oh, there's a Dimensions of Time reference for you, Paul.
Yeah. Pickled in time almost, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not canon.
Canon.
We'll see. But when we get to the review, we'll discuss that in more detail.
I'm told, JT, is it canon?
No, it's not. I've already decided. We will do.
Can we have a poll? Can we have a poll about if it's canon or not? That's the next one to do. Definitely.
Yeah, we'll do one. We'll do one of those. Yeah. Kev Taylor is saying to us that the new Who bloggers must be wetting themselves over the rumors. I'm just indifferent. And Matthew Pound is saying to us, Tennant is an unwanted tenant.
Yeah.
He certainly is on our channel.
Yeah.
He certainly is. A lot of you in the chat with us. Thank you. Rory Neal, good to see you, my friend. How are you? RTD is a Cyberman cannibalizing stories. And Fafty Head is saying, Chris Evans nearly ran over JT. I once nearly ran over Paul McGann in London back in 90 or 91. That put paid to the 96 special. I could have changed time. Oh, there's a story
Can
there.
you imagine?
It's
Can you
sliding
imagine?
doors, isn't it? Yeah.
God, who would we have got instead? I don't know. And Huggy's also saying to us, can they just please end the show and put us out of our misery? It looks like it's coming, Hugs. Looks like it's coming, my friend, honestly. Let's have a look at that particular poll then. Would you want another Tennant Doctor Who return? Yes. Thank you for your honesty. 3 of you in the chat have said yes, you would want another one, while 63, which is 95% of our audience at the moment who voted, have said no, they wouldn't. You can see it all on screen there. It's all interesting, isn't it? But
I'm going to say the only thing about bringing Tenant back, and it doesn't need to be done because it's pointless anyway, but we just need to move on. But if he merged with Billy Piper and then became the Doctor again and then rejected someone else, it would get all this bi-regeneration crap out of the way as well. To do that, yeah.
I just think they just need to forget all that crap.
Yeah.
You know, and take the Doctor back to where we know he is. He's a Time Lord from the Planet Gallifrey. He's going through space and time on the run from his own people. Good grief. It's not rocket science, is it?
It's not.
And they have to keep messing it up.
He can't do that. He just can't do that. He's not talented enough to write a story around that premise. He just can't do it. And he certainly can't write the damage that he's done. So he'll just double down.
Yeah. Problem being is pointing this out. What are these rumors about Jodie Whittaker coming back for Christmas? I couldn't care less, to be honest. I hope she does. It would be a fitting and exciting end to an abysmal era. Again, it's a rumor, and I have seen that, but I don't think at this point it was worth me putting it into the show with the things I've seen about it, because it's another rumor. But then again, we've got this. It's exactly the same as the David Tennant coming back. And if they brought Whittaker back for a Christmas episode, that would also be the kiss of death, because she, ironically, like Gatwa, are more Doctor Who than anybody else that ever played the role.
Yeah.
You know, it's ironic.
Why would they want to bring her back? It just, why?
Unless he does an episode with Joe Martin. We haven't thought of that.
Again, who would watch that? You know,
exactly. Nobody, but he'd think it was a good idea because he's thought of it. Therefore, it's genius, isn't it?
Yeah.
Only in his own mind, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Again, the other Ibrahim is saying, don't give them ideas. John Roberts is saying, New Who to me is not canon. It's just an alternative timeline like the Kelvin timeline in Star Trek. Yeah, I'm the same, pal. It doesn't, you know, it ends with Capaldi for me. And before that Christmas one he did with the David Bradley one, I don't camp David Bradley at all. I rate him as an actor, but he's not the Doctor. He's not the Doctor. Just like for me, John Hurt isn't either.
But he's not meant to be a new Doctor, is he? That's the thing. He's still meant to be William Hartnell. But I quite like that episode. I'll probably have to have my Hughes pencil removed, if you pardon the expression, but because I said that. But I quite like that episode.
I think what John's saying there, though, is probably, I mean, John, correct me if I'm wrong. He's saying New Who, like everything from 2005, because I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it personally. Anything from RTD onwards. So it sort of like stops for me with McGann. To be honest, it's just been, you just know, and we've said this before, you know, from Rose and the sexuality hints with, you know,
John,
with her trying to play up to Eccleston and everything when she's doing her hair and all that kind of thing in her bedroom. It started there. You just know where it all leads to.
Yeah.
And none of it. And I'm very sorry about Matt Smith and I'm very sorry about Peter Capaldi, but I just prefer to just think, nah.
Well, that's the thing I've been saying for ages, haven't I, guys? All you need to do with Doctor Who is just continue it, get rid of the numbering, just take it back to Doctor Who, and then people can decide whether or not the next one is whatever incarnation he is, or whether, you know, Capaldi or Whittaker or Gatwa or Smith or Tennant or Eccleston count, or if it picks up from Paul McGann, or if it picks up from Sylvester McCoy. You don't do any of that stuff. You know, don't look at the baggage of the last 20 years. And I'm just going to say it again, Who viewers, the last 20 years of Doctor Who has more baggage than 26 years of the original run.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't take that into a new series of the show. You've got to get rid of it all. You've just got to
He just needs to be the Doctor. That's the thing. That's it.
Yeah.
Just be the Doctor.
Fafty Head is saying, didn't RTD say Dr. 14 was dead when he was always asked about that a while back? It makes it up as he goes along. He did, because people were saying to him, well, why doesn't the Tenant Doctor come back when Gat was not ready and sort out the Sea Devils or whatever it's going to be?
He didn't like it because I hadn't thought it through
Didn't
properly.
like
That's the problem. Yeah.
He didn't like it at all. He gets quite snappish about it.
Yeah.
Pete Harrington saying they'll end up doing it live on Christmas Day at this rate. Oh, I'd love that. That would be good, wouldn't it? Oh, I'd love that, because I don't think they could. Oh, I'd love that. And considering that the soaps, including their beloved Coronation Street and EastEnders, and Emmerdale have done it several times over to celebrate anniversaries and what have you. Oh, I would love it. I'd love that this time around. Normally, I would say, oh, no, we can't do that with Doctor Who, but bring it on, because I think it would be atrocious. Moriarty is saying, nah, Jodie came back already and acted the socks off the Doctor when compared to Shooty.
She did. Yeah.
You did. Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely. A lot of you in the chat with us. Thanks for joining. Jack Dexter is saying to us, you may need to reduce the Tenant poll by 1 as I'm watching 5 minutes behind and voted for the first poll. Yes to returned episodes, no to Tenant returning. Thanks for that, Jack. Good to see you. On that note, now I know they work, I'm going to stop the poll there. So yes, 4%, which is 3 of you in the chat, would like to see another David Tennant story. And 65 of you who voted, which is 96%, wouldn't. Wow. I think that says it all now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. But thank you for that. And now I know that works. We're all going to have a bit of fun, Who viewers. Yay! I can't wait for that. I'll tell you what else we're going to have some fun with, because it's April, everyone. And we've got some fantastic shows lined up for you over the next couple of weeks. Take a look at this. All coming up for you this April here on Who's Views. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if you have already subscribed, thank you. Thank you. Make sure you're still subscribed. Also, don't forget to give us a thumbs up on this particular show as well. But hopefully you'll be joining us for those live shows kicking off tomorrow with Blake 7, Shadow. Wow. Really looking forward to all these shows, including the 1996 show we've got coming up for you for the Wilderness Years series that we're doing. So I'm looking forward to that. It was a bizarre year, 1996, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. Yeah,
It was.
Yeah. So we'll be looking at that. There's a naughty word that goes around the BBC these days, and probably with the likes of RTD and his little friends. And that word is conservatism. Yes, but one person that is not afraid to say it is writer and author Gareth Roberts. Remember him? Yes, he used to do this little thing called Doctor Who until he was cancelled by the TQ cult as well. Didn't stop him. He's been on this show, if you don't know. He did the headlines with me a couple of years ago when he talked about one of his books coming out. It was a great chat. So hello to Gareth. But this week, he's also in The Spectator published this article, The Surprising Conservatism of the Old Doctor Who. And I love that picture of Tom and the Daleks. It takes me back to when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's a lovely publicity shot, isn't it? Superb.
It really is. The whole range of photos around that were good, though, weren't they?
Yeah.
With him hanging off the wall and everything. It was a wonderful set of photos. And fantastic looking Daleks as well.
Yeah.
Oh, the Daleks look superb, don't they?
Yeah. I don't know. As a kid, they were just magical. Those whole pictures, and of BBC Television Centre as well, which was iconic for us as kids because Blue Peter was there, Swap Shop was there, Tomorrow's World was there, Top of the Pops was there. All these wonderful shows they were throwing out. If you weren't around in the United Kingdom in the 70s as a kid, you won't understand what we're talking about. The BBC Television Centre, the Donuts, was iconic. I remember being thrilled when they used to do the record breakers and they'd go out like that one that they did where Bonnie was in it as a young lady, and they did that big tap dancing thing around the fountain. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Through the studios. Oh, I used to love all that. But those pictures of Tom with the Daleks, just absolutely iconic pictures. Anyway, back to the story, because Gareth this week in The Spectator went on to talk about this, Before the 1980s, our broadcasters had a terrible habit of throwing their own recordings away to save storage space. Videotapes were simply wiped and reused. Every single episode of Doctor Who from the 1960s met this fate, but because the BBC sold the series around the world on film copies, about 2/3 have survived. Now, 2 more lost episodes from November 1965, The Nightmare Begins and Devil's Planet, from an epic story featuring the Daleks, have been found in a private film collection, spruced up, and are available to watch on the iPlayer 60 years on. As nothing exists in a vacuum, even this amiable children's tea time entertainment has some interesting undertows. Writer Terry Nation and director Douglas Camfield were both unusually politically conservative, even for the BBC of that day. I can just hear a lot of people watching us now that don't agree with us throwing their hands up in the air now in shock. Thank you for that, Gareth. He continues, Nation, who created the Daleks, had a bracing attitude to war and peace. His writing is often of the two-fisted war story kind, often featuring, as here, desperate commando missions in jungle terrain. There is absolutely no moral or cultural relativism in his work. This is one of the reasons it connected so well with children who have an unsophisticated attitude to justice and fairness because they have only just learned these rules and are outraged when adults bend them. But Nation's writing is also never gung-ho or tediously macho. The most interesting scene in these episodes occurs not in the space jungle on the planet Kemble, but back home on Earth in the year 4000. Nation shows us a complacent, affluent society where the people running the state security apparatus are consumed by trivia. In the futuristic Pentagon, a warning light, presumably red, but this is black and white, so we can't tell for sure, is flashing insistently, carrying a vital message about an imminent Dalek invasion. But the 2 admin bods on duty, Lizanne and Roald, don't notice. Instead, they are discussing which of the hundreds of TV channels to watch on their security screen and bickering amiably about which is the coolest model of luxury space yacht. Lizanne is smitten by hero worship for Mavic Chen, the smooth politician who has brought peace and prosperity to their lives. Her fervor reminds me of the way people used to moon about Obama. Chen is a peculiar figure. He is almost comically racially mixed with characteristics of every human ethnicity. This is presumably supposed to signify the far future, but the oriental eye makeup and trimmed white curly wig on Caucasian actor Kevin Stoney have, strangely, elicited less comment in 2026 than you might have expected. On the big TV in the War Room Nerve Center, we see the end of Chen's media round as he sets off on space holiday. I hope to get away from all interviewers. He gently ribs the 41st century's answer to Laura Kussenberg. He's very obviously a galactic-level wrong-un. It will hardly come as a great shock to even the youngest viewer that he is, in fact, heading off to join the Daleks' battle against humanity. The dangerous complacency of peace and affluence was felt acutely by the older generations during the 1960s. Nation's concerns here mirror those in Tolkien's abandoned Rings sequel, The New Shadow, which is similarly anxious about young people forgetting to bother with the internal vigilance side of the price of freedom. Somebody else who apparently felt this very acutely was the director of these episodes, Douglas Camfield. Camfield was destined for a military career, but was unable to stay in the army because of the congenital heart condition that eventually killed him, tragically young, in 1984. But he conducted his TV work with incredibly precise and indeed military levels of planning. In her autobiography later, Doctor Who assistant Elizabeth Sladen recalled that he was a military man through and through. He had an air raid shelter at the bottom of his garden, stocked with bully beef. Everything was set for the bomb to go off. He used to say, "The invasion is coming and I'm ready." Camfield was also a friend and admirer of George Shipway, author of the 1971 thriller The Chilean Club, the story of a right-wing coup that has the eye-popping blurb line, "Don't you ever feel like shooting a union leader?" Camfield's full-blood was unusual in television then and unthinkable now, but he was not a tough guy hothead. He was across all the qualities of a script, squeezing out every last drop of dramatic juice. In Devil's Planet, he emphasizes the tragedy of an innocent character with a serious sensitivity that is quite moving. Terry Nation returned to the theme of the complacency of affluence in his later work, most notably in the 1975 series Survivors, an adult show about a plague that wipes out most of humanity. He was acutely conscious of the precariousness of civilized life. Survivors begins with its heroine, a comfortable home counties trophy wife, playing tennis against a practice machine. 50 minutes later, she shaves her hair down to a buzz cut, sets fire to her house with her dead husband's body inside, and starts out a new life in a brutal new world. These are the kinds of conservative considerations that don't even register in our popular culture today, even the perennially popular post-apocalyptic genre. With another 60 years of the clock of peace and luxury since the nightmare begins, we've all forgotten the warning lights flashing in the corner of our vision. He's not wrong, is he?
No, he's not. Not at all. It's a very good article.
Of his articles, brilliant writer.
Yeah.
Always hits a nail on the head, never misses.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's been dropped from writing Doctor Who books for BBC Books and Penguin and from the TV series because of the views that he holds, which any normal person will say, yes, that's correct, including us here on the Whotastic panel tonight. You know.
And you know, they all spout about diversity and everything else, but they don't like diversity of thought, do they? Because they don't like being challenged. And if you go back to the 70s, you know, we've said this before, you had Terence Dix, who was definitely one side of the political spectrum, and he was best mates and ex-roommates with Mac Hulk, who was an absolute raging communist. You know, but they both managed to write fantastic Doctor Who, which is something that this shower of shit absolutely can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Even if their lives depended on it, and quite frankly, I wish they did. There we are.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And you know, the brilliant thing about this was from that article, I love the way that Gareth has looked at these episodes with consideration, the excitement of a fan, like we all did, taking it all in, drank it all up, looked at them again a few thousand times, probably now known like the rest of us, and also looked at it. And there's that lovely parallel to the modern day, which they couldn't possibly have known about in the 1960s. Could he, Terry Nation? Could he have predicted that? The fact that there we have all these galactic channels, Mavic Chenon, and we've got two people that are so in case with television and the propaganda it's spouting, they've forgotten completely about what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, it's like reality television, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just love the way Gareth has put these things together.
That observation about people are being distracted by what is effectively an equivalent, I suppose, the year 4000's equivalent of social media in a way. You know, we don't know what channel it was, do we? It could have been a social media channel that they were watching or whatever. But yeah, nail on the head every time.
I love the idea of space holiday. That sounds really exciting.
Yeah. I mean, it's always quite funny, isn't it? Really, because you know, again, as I was saying in our reviews of the Dalek Master Plan, watching the episodes really brought in all these lovely audios I've been listening to for all these years. It really showed that I wasn't paying attention to what I was listening to that extent, because seeing it visually, everything's just fallen into place for me now. I got everything in my head wrong, and it was beautiful to see. And the parallels that Gareth has managed, guys, to bring out here. Again, I think, as Bill Lowery's saying here, damn, he's a good writer.
Yeah.
Well, it also shows a kind of a myth about not writing good Doctor Who with Terry Nation or Donald Tosh, because it's got multi-layered aspects of the drama, which we've talked about many times before, that you can find different things in it, that's the whole good thing about classic Who. You've got different layers, different things to get from it. And that makes it so watchable or rewatchable because of that, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Yeah, I think it's a really good point. It's an interesting article, though, Who viewers, isn't it? A lot of you in the chat are finding it so as well. Thanks, Marie UK, for that one. We've got Reviews, Rants and Religion saying to us, and there are a fair few warning lights flashing right now, worryingly. Yeah, but it's not the way. I totally agree. I look at the world now, Reviews, Rants and Religion, and I look at our beautiful country, and I've said before, and I'm not ashamed to say it, the United Kingdom today is not the United Kingdom I was born into, and it's not the United Kingdom I recognize. I do not know how we got into the mess of this. Well, I do. I think it started in 97, and I was one of the millions that started it off, unfortunately. But I think it started then, and it's just carried on with successive ridiculous idiots coming into power. And now I look around me, Review, Rants and Religion, and I'm terrified, because you've got all these people going on about rights, and you've got them going on about this and that and this and that, when they're the ones trying to suppress the rights and democracy and dismantle it and destroy it. And then you've got people who are coming to look at parties like that idiot with the teeth, and he's coming along blatantly telling you he's going to destroy the United Kingdom, and people are bloody voting for him.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the Green Party members had put on a social media post, destroy Israel, destroy the US, destroy Britain, or destroy England. And you just think, my God, why do we, we'll lock somebody up for a social media post, but we won't lock them up for that.
Yeah.
And
two-tier stuff, that's what they're going on about.
Isn't there a Green councillor woman up your neck of the woods in Scotland saying about she wants to abolish prisons?
Yeah.
Maggie Chapman, who's off her head.
Yeah, absolute idiot.
As is anybody that votes for that.
She's a huge. I'm always arguing with her. Not that she'll ever respond to me. She's a huge member of the TQ cult as well. Huge member.
Right.
And it's always surprising people like Maggie Chapman when people like me who are homosexual challenge her. They don't like it. They don't understand. Does not compute. Why do you not agree with what we are dictating to you? Because you're homophobic and you're misogynistic.
They never explain though how they're going to resolve it. Okay, let's not have any prisons. Okay, how does that work?
Exactly, because people are going to do bad things, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's human nature, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So how is that going to work? And unfortunately as well, like that idiot from the Green Party with the teeth. He comes along. He looks like a very bad Bugs Bunny, doesn't he? But basically, you've got this whole thing about him saying he's going to get rid of all this, going to get rid of this. Oh, and we want to let everybody into the country as if we're not doing that already. Yeah. So what happens when they commit the crimes we're seeing today, you bloody idiots? What's going to happen then? And people are... What are they doing? I don't understand why they're falling for this. And a lot of these youngsters, Ian, as well, are falling for this nonsense.
Yeah, they are. And I think it's fascinating because we can't stop people coming into the country, but it won't stop Kanye West coming into the country, which is fascinating. We can stop one, we can stop more, but we can't, of course.
See, I agreed with him being coming into the country, but I also agree with the fact if you do it with him, how come we can't do it with all these others?
Yeah.
Surely that's now the role model. To say,
it shows if they want to, they can. So the fact that they don't means they don't want to.
Yeah,
I think it's just point scoring. He's a very high profile person. Oh, and look at us. We're in government and I'm the Prime Minister of the country and I'm saying no. And people have done what I've told them for once. Yeah, I think it's point scoring. Oh, yeah, but also all these other people who aren't that high profile, I will just turn a blind eye to them. Bloody ridiculous. I am your servant. Everything is about group identity nowadays rather than the freedom of English individualism. Well said, sir. And Bill Lowry is also saying to us their political views may have been extreme. We're talking about Nation or Hulk or whatever here. And they shaped the stories they wrote, but they didn't force their views on anyone. And that was the magic, Bill, wasn't it, of the original Doctor Who from 63 to 89? Because as kids, a lot of the political imagery went over our heads. We didn't see it. The adults around us may have done, but as kids, we were just seeing the Doctor fighting the Wirren or the Maggots or Sutek or whoever it was going to be, having a really good time. And we didn't necessarily get all these little hints that may have been in there. And that's how it should be. And that's why Doctor Who, in the original series especially, welcomed all of us who are still around mourning the loss of it now, if you know what I mean.
I didn't get... I didn't get any of, mind you, I was a lot younger then, but I didn't get any of the Buddhist symbolism really in Planet of the Spiders, to be quite honest. You look at it now and you see it, but it wasn't in any way dictating the story. And it wasn't in any way preaching to the viewer that you must be a Buddhist or anything like that. And,
of course not, no.
That's the way it should be. But then it was done properly then. It was done respectfully. And they respected the audience. And that's a big key thing because we know with the BBC, they don't respect the audience. We are the great unwashed.
Yeah.
I just saw it as escapism. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Paul, that's the word, escapism. This is why you can put... original Doctor Who from any era, from Hartnell to probably McCoy. Hartnell to McCoy. I'm going to say it. You can include McGann if you want. You can put any of those episodes. Don't push it. And you can put all of that stuff onto sort of something like You and Eden, and not worry about it.
Yeah.
And parents can actually leave their kids in front of those Doctor Who episodes from those days, all those years ago, and not worry about it. And because again, we've had parents who are subscribed to our channel and have been part of our shows saying they will watch modern Doctor Who before they allow it anywhere near their children. And a lot of the time they're saying, no, my kid isn't going to watch this because it's pure propaganda.
Yeah.
Shocking
Yeah.
stuff. That's not
That's
what Doctor
awful.
Who's about.
Yeah.
RTD, you're not listening, but you bloody well should be. Pete Harrington is saying to us, it's perfect in black and white. To colorize it would be interesting as a one-off watch, but I'd go back to watch it in black and white for future viewing. Okay, thank you for that, Pete. I'm not sure what that's about, but thank you.
Just don't get the music done by what's his face. It'll be like Benny Hill again, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he was cancelled years ago. Do you remember? God love him. God love him. And yeah, I used to laugh like crazy. And I don't know. I understand some of it, but I think it's a bit over. You know, I'm an adult. If I want to watch Benny Hill, I'll blooming well watch Benny Hill.
I found a sketch on YouTube of Benny Hill, and he played all the characters. It was obviously in the 70s, and he played all these different detectives like Poirot and Columbo and Ironside. He did all the different parts. It's a very funny sketch. It's a bit dated, but it's quite funny. But seeing him playing different characters like Raymond Burr and Peter Falk and people like that was actually quite entertaining. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, yes. It was great in one of my all-time favorites, of course, which is The Italian Job.
Oh yeah.
I love that film so much. I watch it 2 or 3 times a year because I just love it. And whenever it comes on the telly, which is actually quite frequent these days.
I love it for Noel Coward as the big boss in the prison.
He's
That's
fabulous,
hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah.
England.
Yeah.
Matt Inspiel is saying to us, Gareth is a fantastic writer and it's the BBC's loss for bowing to the TQ nut jobs, just like Big Finish did, just like the series did, just like the magazine has done. Utter nonsense. They've all been following the party line. The tide is turning and they're not. And whatever comes around goes around, as my nan used to say, God love her. Honestly. Mace 4, yeah, I know what you mean there. Marie UK, yes, I totally agree with you, darling. It did. And I take part of the responsibility for him. He was such a letdown. Honestly. Pete Harrington is saying to us that 30 years of a slow burn is not the future I thought of. None of us, I think, in the 90s ever thought we would be where we are now with our beloved country ransacked, ridiculed, rubbish everywhere, hurling accusations at people all the time, labeling, segregation, a government that doesn't care, successive governments that don't care, politicians that are just there for careers. You know, our beautiful BBC ransacked by idiots who are just going to preach to us. People who should know better, like RTD, judging the rest of us.
Going back slightly to the year 4000, I have a question about master plan. Maybe you guys can answer this. Why the technics bold? Is it because they're brainy? I'm asking for a friend. Just wondered.
Yes.
Like remember the T-Far man? Remember the T-Far man with the big head? Remember that? Yeah. I wonder if that was the kind of thing, and that's why I was asking for a friend. I know someone who's bold in my life. I just wondered.
Do you? That's strange.
Yeah. Yes.
Grass doesn't grow on a busy road, right?
Exactly right. Yeah.
Listen, I've got no excuse now, right?
As you rode very quiet, Ian, to use that analogy, if that's what you're saying.
Do you think it's in slightly related to some kind of reason why all the women in UFO on the moon had to wear pink wigs? Maybe, the technics were doing something that meant they couldn't have. Well, I was going to say body hair, but I don't know. It was just on their heads, wasn't it? And I really don't want to go there.
No, best of.
No.
Yes, thank you for that, Radium. I had no idea that the Curse of Peladon was about entry to the EEC until very recently. No, because it went over our heads as kids, and they did it in a science fiction way. This was about Peladon with monsters and ice warriors.
Like a ghost story. It was fabulous, yeah.
Yeah.
And minus strikes and things like that. It just, it didn't, and pollution. You got the story, and as you get older and look back, you see the references, but it didn't dictate it. It didn't preach.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. We also got here from the PVFS. I didn't even realize that Benny Hill was in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang until I got it on tape. Yes, he plays the toy maker. Strange. They had a toy maker as well. He was nicer, though, than the one in ours.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the original one, not the reboot version. That was bloody awful.
He operated a searchlight, I think, in some war film that I remember seeing once years ago. Paul will probably know exactly what film it was.
You'll need to get
Yeah.
George on the case. I don't know which one that is, actually, to be honest.
Yeah,
But he's in those Magnificent Men, the Fly Machines as well, I think. Is he a fireman in that or something? Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
And
it was
Tony
the
Hancock's in
fireman.
that as well. Yeah. So
Yeah, my beautiful fire engine. It's a great film. I watched that just the other week because it came on. I thought, oh my God, I haven't watched this since Christmas 1970 something.
Yeah.
So I sat down and watched it and enjoyed every.
I
minute.
love the theme song for that film. It's brilliant. Really.
Yeah. Graham is pointing out to us that look at Malcolm Hoke's Invasion of the Dinosaurs. The left-wing guys are the baddies. Yes, I noticed that myself when it was repeated again recently on You and Eden. I thought, oh, hang on a minute. That's quite good of Mac Hoke, isn't it? He has put a little bit of his politics in there to the point where people today wouldn't necessarily like that pointed out, I am sure.
There was a superb thread on X this week by somebody looking back through various stories, right back to the Daleks, I think, about different sort of like political leanings and interpretations in various Doctor Who stories. Really quite a good thread, JT. I'll dig it out and send it through to you. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah,
It's not a sequel to Unfolding Texas, and God help us, is it not?
No, you could understand this one. It went as far back as the Daleks. It didn't go to the cave politics of Callan's. In fact, it might have done. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah. It's good to see you all in the chat. Thank you for being with us. You're watching Who's Views. It's your big show here. It is, of course, Headlines. If you are new to us, please subscribe to the channel. It's much appreciated. If you're not new to us, really, really thank you for supporting us. And please make sure you're still subscribed. Give us a like as well. Yes, a great article there, I think, from Gareth. Lots of you like that in the chat as well. It might be something we come back to as we keep an eye on that as we move forward. We did have some breaking news, though, over the last couple of days. I don't know if you see this, but it has now been revealed as to exactly what happened to a Doctor Who missing episode.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it'd be involved somewhere. Yeah.
For the podcast sake there, I am showing another picture from George IV, which is the Anthony Ainley version of the Master, footing it with Doctor Who, The Web of Fear, episode 3.
That is
Rotten Swine you. Yeah.
Isn't that gorgeous? I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Well done, George. I thought that was just hilarious, absolutely hilarious. We're going to move on to this now, everybody. This is from Clayton Hickman, from his X account. Hiya, Clayton. Hope you're well, lovely. Here's a restored and colorized set photo from Doctor Who, and the nightmare begins. It's a Varga plant and Brett's outer space radio on the sandy and blankety floor of TC3, that's Television Centre 3, on Friday, the 22nd of October, 1965. Now, I love all these pictures that Clayton does because he's very, very clever, isn't he?
Yeah. Lovely, yeah.
I just want to get this one from Lex, though. Super chat. Thank you, Lex, for your super chat. I miss to sum up on headlines. Yes, I'm going to have to sort that out, and we'll get that back, Lex, at some point. It's just that the show goes on for long enough anyway, because a lot of you are talking, and that's what we love about the show. But yeah, we'll try and get that back for you at some point and just extend it for another hour. Yeah, got to be patient with me. Anyway, where was I? Yes, Lex is also saying, I love that master picture. It's great, isn't it? But this is from Clayton. So this is the picture he's telling us to look at. Look at that. There's the Varga plant there. It's actually still a really good picture in black and white, isn't it, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a hairy plasmaton, don't you think, Paul?
A little bit, yeah. It looks like, when I saw the photograph, it looks like the Varga plant's got boots on, but I'm not quite sure what is it. Do you know what I mean? It's yeah.
Yeah.
Love it, though.
I've never seen this picture before, so I don't know where he's got it from, but good for Clayton. So, yes, so what he's done is, being Clayton, he's infamously now colorized it, everybody. So we go from that to this.
Wow. That is lovely. That's so nice.
Amazing.
What a great job he's done that. And you can actually see the blanket more there on the TC floor, can't you?
What tickled me was, JT, the fact it's got space security on the communicator. That's lovely. If you zoom into it, you can see that on there. Yeah, isn't that nice?
Isn't that fab?
Yeah,
it really is.
I absolutely love it. But well done, Clay. Another absolute classic there from you. Absolutely beautiful. And I love the way you can actually see the backcloth there, the painted version. Oh, absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's from these pictures that you can actually tell that Doctor Who in the 60s did have some bloody good work on it, actually. I don't care what they say. Wobbly. I don't remember seeing many wobbly sets in these. These are gorgeous things, aren't they?
I love the bit still tickles me, the bit where Hartnell squeezes past the Varga plant to go back to the TARDIS before he sees the Daleks. His look on his face is wonderful.
It
That's
is,
wonderful.
isn't it? Absolutely better.
Yeah.
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 Woodhouse 122 saying to us, that pit looks better than the Varga plant in the Uckland remake. Oh yeah, and we looked at them, didn't we? And hello to Kieran Colley. Nice to see you, Kieran. About him, he has got that eccentricity and many other things about him. Thank you, Kit. It's nice to see you. And Phil Roy's with us saying, as you know, I love a studio jungle. Nice work, Clayton. We already know you love a studio jungle. It's all to come. Problem being is saying SS. They didn't think that through back in '65, did they? No, they did not.
Well, maybe they did, because remember the influence on who the Daleks represented in Terry Nation's mind. That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Let's be honest.
It does.
In fairness, in Dalek Master Plan, it was the SSSS, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Spaceship.
Yes.
But putting SS together like that, is pushing it. Yeah.
Which also stands for Social Security Scotland, I found out in the last few months.
Oh, right, yeah.
Honestly.
Which probably explains a lot, yeah.
Excellent. I keep thinking of Brett now and G. Marsh every time I see this thing come up now. But there you go. The colour version picture and black and white pictures are amazing, said Lex. They absolutely are, aren't they? And probably agreeing with you there, Paul. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hello, Jason. Honey Monster from Sugar Puffs ad with their hair curlers in the Varga plan. Tell them about the honey mummy. Oh, I used to love them. Do you know they took all the sugar out of them? You can't call them that now. They're called rice puffs or something now.
Really? No.
Yeah, it's not the same. That's bloody Nicholas Sturgeon for you.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't take the sugar off the title and just call them puffs, could you? Because you'd get into a whole world of trouble on that.
We can't go there now, Ian. Sorry, no.
So, one more time for you, Who viewers. Here's Clayton's picture. There's the black and white. And abracadabra, Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy. Oh, that's probably a trademark, but never mind. Here we go. There it is, coloured.
Glorious.
And we'll take another close-up on that for you as well. Brilliant work, Clayton, love. Absolutely fantastic. It's that time now where we're going to actually big up a little bit more the Daleks Master Plan, everybody. Yes, I know we are predictable, but we love it so much here on the channel, don't we? The Daleks Master Plan back with us. Those two beautiful episodes from the wonderful, living up to their name, Film is Fabulous. You can get all the details, of course, from filmisfabulous.org.uk on how to support this incredible charity. And again, huge big up to them. As ever from Who's Views, we are massive, massive fans of this fantastic charity. And we love them. Absolutely love them. And continue with the good work. We have been complaining, though, of course, during our coverage of the return of these wonderful episodes about how the BBC didn't even give Film is Fabulous a credit for finding the episodes. They just phoned them on the iPlayer. The BBC didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to do anything. Although I noticed in that RTD interview we were talking about earlier, gentlemen, with the French people, that he was saying that we've just found. No, you didn't.
It's like Keir Starmer going out to the Middle East and saying we've got a ceasefire. He did bugger all to achieve it.
Yes.
You know, just trying to claim credit. I think it was interesting watching your fantastic visitations with Bedweer. I did enjoy that. Where Bedweer pointed out that we got to see these episodes really quickly and it went very smoothly, primarily because the BBC wasn't involved.
Yes.
I think that was a wonderful point. Yeah.
And that's the brilliant thing. And we must point out to any collector that might stroll across our show here, if you do have some Doctor Who, firstly, thank you for looking after them, being custodians of some fantastic British television history, as well as Doctor Who history. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for looking after these things, because the BBC wouldn't have done, as we know, because they binned off of them. If you are considering returning any of episodes of Doctor Who, which you think may be lost or maybe better prints of what we've already got, please do. But go to Film is Fabulous. Don't approach the BBC. Go to filmisfabulous.org.uk. Get in touch with John and the team over there, and they will treat you like the collectors you are.
Yeah, they'll treat your collection respectfully and look after
They'll maintain
well.
your confidentiality, your anonymity. But whatever, I would say, don't automatically assume that what you've got already exists with the BBC, because there's a good chance it doesn't.
Yeah. Lots of in the chat again. You know, Idiot Proof Dalek, nice to see it. Robert Payne saying, yes, please, collectors, approach Film is Fabulous first. Steve Braddock saying to us, I've been donating to Film is Fabulous since November. Good for you, my friend.
Yeah,
I've put in a few pennies myself since we learned that this was there. So good for you. Pete Harrington saying to us, BBC junked them. They should lose the right to make any future cash on any merchandise.
Yeah.
I mean, they should donate something, I think, to Film is Fabulous to say thank you for this, because they're going to market the hell out of these things, I would imagine, fairly soon. Anyway, Richard Bignell.
Laws are nonsense, though, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, Richard Bignell says Bill Lowry saying to us has said that the restoration team will be further improving the 2 Doctor Who episodes recently returned. Well, I think they look gorgeous as they were.
Yeah.
Kev Taylor saying the BBC lost the episodes in the first place. It didn't just lose them; they binned them. They burnt the things. You know, they threw them in skips. No wonder the staff were all going. The BBC staff were all going, "Oh, I'm going to have that. I'm going to have that." I would have done too.
If you deliberately destroy them, you haven't lost them. You've destroyed them.
Yeah.
It's lost suggests it's a mistake, doesn't it? They've been misplaced somewhere. You know, like certain episode of 10th Planet or other episodes of Dalek off the planet.
Yeah, you never know. Stephen Jenny Frist saying to us, how can we promote Film is Fabulous and raise awareness of them and their good work? Well, from our point of view here at Who's View, Stephen and Jenny Frist, we're just going to keep talking about them and big them up whenever we can. And that's where we're going to now with this story, because the BBC did actually acknowledge Film is Fabulous this week on their website with this, how missing episodes from the Daleks master plan were found. They interviewed Sue Malden, the former BBC archivist and trustee of Film is Fabulous, about what it takes to recover and restore lost media, such as the first Doctor's missing adventures. There are various pictures involved with it, including this of the cans, which I always love these things. When you see, I get a thrill at seeing these guys. You know, they could publicize this, and I would just wet myself thinking, "Oh my God, what's in them?"
Yeah.
You know?
Look at that, the Executioners. Yeah. I think they used that title for one of the tracks. I don't know whether it was Sontaran Experiment in the Doctor Who sound effects album.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yes, the sound effects album. They did. So this interview surprised me. Everybody who views. So if you haven't seen it, I've got it for you here now. Let's go through it together. Tell us a bit about how Film is Fabulous came to be. So Sue responds, I was speaking on a panel about missing episodes at a Doctor Who event near Milton Keynes in 2024. And afterwards, I was approached by John Franklin, a film collector and fellow Film is Fabulous trustee. He knew that I had previously been head of BBC Broadcast Archives and had organised a treasure hunt of missing Doctor Who episodes, for which we'll forever be grateful, Sue.
Yeah.
John was concerned about the vulnerable status of many collections of film and TV that people had dedicated their lives to, but had no contingency plan for after they passed on. Many haven't made lists or shared with their families what they have. And the idea that a grief-stricken family might unknowingly dispose of a valuable film collection felt tragic. Initially, we thought Film is Fabulous needed to encourage collectors to list or catalogue what they had and to convince them to create a codicil or note in their will about what should happen with their collections. But we were soon inundated with messages from collectors and their families sharing concerns about what would happen to their personal archives if their health declined. So John leapt into action and we formed our board of trustees. The unfortunate death of a young collector left his partner with a huge collection of television recordings. So we stepped in to help and used this as a case study. It showed us what we could potentially find in these collections and how to handle them. We quickly realized that we needed storage space and equipment, but assessing this collection also helped us understand that one of the key things we could do is uncover any content that was missing from the main archives. The BBC then asked, what are the biggest challenges between discovering missing media and returning it to the rights holders? Sue says, you can never be sure that what it says on the outside of the can is what you'll find on the inside. In today's digitalized world, archives are also less interested in holding original film, so we've started helping with digital scanning in our work. There's also the process of checking whether what we found is actually missing from archives. We've had to contact the appropriate archivist, which is often the BBC, and confirm, are they missing this? And would they like it back? Is it unique? The BBC said, how did the missing episodes from the Daleks master plan come to be found? Sue said, John Franklin knew a collector who had recently fallen ill and was helping him sort through his collection. Sadly, the collector died, and John had his collection moved into our store. Lo and behold, 6 Doctor Who episodes were found. 4 were already in the BBC archive, but old film is very vulnerable, so it's always worth checking in these discoveries if something we found might be of better quality than what's already held. John handled everything with kid gloves, not just the cans of delicate film, but the whole process. He ensured people didn't get too worried or excited until we were certain that the content was really there and could be scanned and digitized. He also had to ensure the BBC would show the episodes again, as fans and collectors value the opportunity to see what's been found. Obviously, it's great finding things, but that's only half the job, so it's very exciting that they're now airing on the BBC iPlayer. What do you think this discovery means for the future of more missing episodes? Asked the BBC. Sue responds, I really hope it will encourage other collectors to come forward. It's partly why I belaboured the point of showing the episodes we found. The idea of recovering something and then shoving it back on a shelf, never to be seen, can be discouraging, and we know it to be an inhibiting factor. So we do hope that showing these episodes will encourage people to take stock of what they have and start making a list. Returning to the original purpose of film is fabulous. It will hopefully also encourage people to think about what may happen to their collections after they're gone. This goes for vinyl, stamps, or anything else. There is something nice about collecting without logging, so many people spend their lives collecting and don't even know what they've got or what will happen to it after. When it comes to Doctor Who, I've consistently said that all episodes were recorded, so they've got to be somewhere. The fact that these two have surfaced after 13 years shows it's still possible. What advice do you have for creatives about preserving their work in the present day? Sue responds to that. Make as many copies as you can and share your work with friends and family. That ensures a copy will survive somehow. I'm a traditional archivist, though, and I believe that media and programs should ultimately be safely kept in proper archives. But we need to recognize this is on a societal level and ensure the arts are better funded to maintain proper film and television archives. Many underestimate how culturally important these are until they're gone. An example I've shared in lectures in the past is Pol Pot's Year Zero in the 70s, which sought to erase and reset Cambodian culture. In particular, traditional temple dancing had been banned, and archive footage of the practice was destroyed. However, some footage survived in a French archive and was later returned. Today, temple dancing is thriving again in Cambodia, but 20 years ago, it had almost been wiped out. So, as a society, we ought to realize the importance of film and television archives to our culture. Here, Sue. Is there a particular piece of media, Doctor Who or otherwise, that you'd love to rediscover above all else? Sue says, Bob Dylan in the play Madhouse on Castle Street. He came to the UK to appear in the play, and it was filmed, I think, in 35mm and broadcast on the BBC in January 1963. But it never made it into the archive, so who knows where it is? Did it go in a skip, or did it go into somebody's collection? That would be my number one find. If you could go anywhere in time and space in the TARDIS, where would you go? Yes, that really still crops up today, everybody. It really does, that question. Sue responds, I spend a lot of time in Greece at the moment, and I wouldn't mind seeing what ancient Greece was like, though I have a feeling that ancient times weren't the best for women. But I'd also like to get back to the 1960s just to have a word with people.
Good for her. Yeah.
It's a great little interview, that one, isn't it, with Sue? Absolutely fantastic. And I'm so glad that it cropped up this week on the BBC website. I thought, oh, look, they're actually acknowledging Film is Fabulous. They've got Sue there as well, who used to work for the BBC in a previous incarnation. And they've asked some nice, decent questions there.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it sounds really positive and encouraging that she really thinks there's more to come, which is great, you know?
Yeah.
We've got to keep our fingers crossed, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, about this. I mean, we're quite positive here on Who's Views, aren't we? You know?
Yeah.
I've always said never say never for missing episodes, because
you have,
they just turn up in bizarre places. They really do. And we've been
do,
so
don't they?
lucky to get what we got, you know, over the years. It's when you really think about it, so lucky to get them. The odds of them surviving, particularly Master Plan 1 and 3. I mean, that's incredible, really.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's a bloody miracle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Absolute miracle. Steve Braddock is saying to you, yes, exactly. I remember when episodes came back and they were just stuck in the archives. So glad things have changed for the better. Again, we have to say a huge thank you to Film is Fabulous for saying, listen, if we give you these things back, they've got to be seen as quickly as possible. So good for them. And thank you again, Film is Fabulous, for being so mature with the whole process, because it's not difficult.
Do you remember sorry, JT, do you remember in Doctor Who magazine in the years or whatever after that 1981 summer special, where we were all shocked and mortified, when episodes did come back, they would say it had come back, it had been found wherever, whatever they knew, and then ended it by saying, and it now sits in its rightful place in the archives, and that was the end of it. You never saw it, did you? That was it. It was just boom. That was it. And you got that little glow knowing that there was one less missing episode. But Film is Fabulous, absolutely right. Holding that prerequisite to the BBC, you have to show these. Otherwise, they probably would string it out like they did last time with Day of Armageddon.
Yeah. I can't even remember, and this is a blatant plug here on the channel, everybody, because this week we are going to be looking at the Tomb of the Cybermen and Whose Views Reviews this Wednesday, I think it is. So come and join us at 8 o'clock live. But I can't remember, and George will hopefully be joining us, and he probably will. When they announced the discovery of Tomb of the Cybermen, I can't remember how long it took them to get it out on VHS.
It was quite quickly, wasn't it? This one
I
was.
can't
I think
remember.
that one was quite quick. I think that one was quite quick. I don't know, say the 4 Ice Warriors episodes. They came out in a nice special box, but I think that took some time.
Yeah,
because Tomb of the Cybermen was one of the Holy Grail stories, wasn't it? Like Power of the Daleks and Marco Polo.
The big thing, wasn't it? Yeah. And then we had the Crusade.
Yeah.
With those episodes, and that also came out in a nice green lidded box
That's right,
as well for the VHS with the audio in it. I wonder if that's going to get repeated. Oops. Kieran is saying, I was absolutely overjoyed when they found the recent episodes, including Dalek's Master Plan. Hopefully more episodes from the classic series will be found and lovingly remastered and restored. As I say, we've all got our fingers crossed here on the channel, haven't we, Who viewers? We really do. Now, Jess is pointing out to us an issue. Now, this is what a lot of people will be aware of when it comes to collecting. Removing items from a skip without permission is generally illegal in the UK, as it can be considered theft under the Theft Act 1968. Items placed in a skip are considered private property. Now, that is true, and that stands to this very day, which is why a lot of these collectors, especially ex-employees of the BBC from back in the day, will just possibly not say anything, and why everything has to be done with care and consideration and with the ability to give a peace of mind. So again, a lot of these people that give these episodes, we never know who they are, and we have to say thank you to them because they have to be anonymous, because there will be, I would say in this day and age, the danger of somebody going, oh, it's kidding. Do you know what I mean?
That's where Film is Fabulous are perfect, aren't they? Because they're the conduit. They know who the owner is, they know who's given the collection, and they do not share that with the BBC. They can guarantee that confidentiality, and hopefully that will make people a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, exactly. And it's again, the shows here as well, and Sue beautifully says it in that interview there, that these collectors have to be encouraged to catalogue everything. And it made me start thinking that when I can get back upstairs into the loft, I'm going to have to do that with my Doctor Who collection, because I have no idea what I've got over there now. I actually started it years ago in the 90s, but it's way out of date now because, I am a bit of a cataloguer. So I'm going to have to do it all again. So that's going to be months of work there. But it's a case of you've got to think, haven't you? Think, right, okay, what is here for when you're not?
Yeah.
And what do the people who you leave everything to do with it? My sister is under strict instructions to sell it all.
Well, let's hope Doctor Who's Insurgents have been popular again. Otherwise, I don't know how much it'll be worth.
That's the problem, isn't it? But there will be vintage collectors that would like some of the 60s, 70s stuff, the annual stuff. None of the new stuff, really. That won't catch much. John Roberts is saying Sue seems a real character. The thing is, John, I don't know if you've known it as well, but I have friends who have met Sue along the years at various places and what have you, and she does. Everybody talks about her very, very fondly, and that she is a character, and she can really passionately get into the subject and tell you about things, and it rubs off on you. And I think that's lovely. I think it's a gift.
Yeah. Thank you.
Lex is saying to us again, guys, you won't be surprised about this, that the Feast of Stephen would be a great find. He's infatuated.
Is that one canon? I'm not quite sure. Is it?
Yes, I think it is, sadly. I love any footage of Liverpool gone by, says Pete Harrington. It gave a wonderful taste of how my city was, and those faces, all the stories to tell. Pete, I think yourself and Lex and I have got a lot in common. I love seeing the old Liverpool as well, especially the Liverpool of the 70s, which was the Liverpool I remember into the 80s. Just happy days, really, when you see the old Woolies and, you know, where Smith used to be, and Lewis's and Owens and the markets, you know, Scotty Road and all that. Oh, fabulous. And Woodhouse 122 saying the panel interviews from the Riverside screening of Daleks Master Plan are very interesting on the Film is Fabulous YouTube channel. Yes, and we've been sharing them to the Who's Views Facebook page as well, but they have been released this week as well. And again, absolutely fantastic coverage and thought from the Film is Fabulous team. And again, thank you so much for that. And Radium, Sue Malden, the guardian of Doctor Who. Yeah, she gives Mavic Chan a run for his money there, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Steve O'Neill is saying to us, I wish they would release Tomb of the Cybermen as a standalone Blu-ray. Right, and Chris Kaz saying to me, yeah, Tomb came out quickly to VHS. Matthew Pounder the same. They rushed Tomb out on video. We are, as I say, this week, we are going to be looking at the Tomb of the Cybermen. Please come and join us. And Adam M. ATL, lovely to see you. The Ice Warriors took 10 years to go to video. Did it? Was it really 10 years? Oh my God, I'm so out of that. I don't know. Really?
That was the official video, of course, obviously.
Yeah. Did it really? And it was a nice box when it came out, though. Do you remember? For that flip at the front there. It's a lovely box.
It had the missing episodes documentary on it, didn't it, as well? When
it did,
Mr. Levine said that immortal line, they'll never be whatever number it was at that point anymore returned, or whatever it was, you know, but it was wonderful.
He trots that out every time where there's a find. He just reduces it by whatever the relevant number is.
There'll always be 95 missing episodes. I'm saying it now. Okay.
Oh, absolutely wonderful. Adam, thank you for that. 10 years. If you can, join us for our Tomb of the Cybermen review, and I will forget this little fact you've given me. So if you can, join us and remind me again. Pete Harrington saying, I had a VHS in my hand coming back on a train from Southport of the Tomb of the Cybermen. That journey took forever. Well, time minutes in the head. I couldn't wait to watch it. Yeah, I bet it did. I bet it was like, oh God, why is it taking weeks? Probably just 40 minutes, to be quite honest, Pete, wasn't it? You're right, Woodhouse 122. Some of the ex-BBC employees might have a BBC pension. They'd be scared of losing it. Let's not talk about BBC
I don't
pension.
think they would, really.
I don't think so.
Well, Film is Fabulous removes that risk, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. Well, it does, yeah, it is, because they won't declare that because they don't have to. Thank you for that. And then Chris Cass saying, sensitivity and diplomacy will hopefully get us some more missing episodes. As ever, as I say, we are very, very hopeful now.
Definitely,
about coming back. So, and we love Film is Fabulous on this channel. And I'm not just talking about us on the screen, we're talking about all you guys as well. We are, aren't we, Who viewers?
Yeah.
We are massive, massive fans of Film is Fabulous. And can't thank them enough. I'm so impressed with what they've done and the way they've handled the whole thing, and how professional and courteous they've been, and how they've handled the BBC. And how we got to see these things so bloody quickly. I mean, so grateful. It's made our year, hasn't it, really?
It has.
Oh, yeah. So far.
Yeah. Really has. So thank you, everybody. John Steed is saying to us, let's pray they can knock the missing episodes down to 80. And Nick Channel, it's my mom's heavenly birthday on Tuesday. I just want to say thank you for cheering me up. God bless you, Nate. You're very welcome, and we're thinking of you. God love you. God love you. When I was a boy, says Mark A. Wright, even the available episodes were missing until we saved up the $10.99 to go and to buy the VHS in the local Woolies.
Yeah.
It's a good point, actually. It's a good way of looking at that, Mark. You're absolutely right. But happy days, though, all that collecting. Yeah. Wonderful. But again, I mean, that was a great interview, I thought, with Sue from Film is Fabulous by the BBC, and about bloody time. What I would also like to see from the BBC, and this is where BBC Studios can come in, is do some sort of lovely documentary for the iPlayer.
Yeah.
And also, of course, for any Doctor Who Blu-ray.
It'll be on the Blu-ray if and when it comes out, yeah.
It'd be lovely to share a lovely documentary, though. Stick it on BBC4 as well, you know, because this is an active charity now doing great work looking for British television and film. I don't understand why the BBC have not jumped at the chance to do this, one of their arty-farty proper grown-up documentaries on that. That's a great show.
Yeah.
You know, that's a Christmas special on BBC4, as well as sticking it on all the Doctor Who stuff for all of us. And they can use the Dalek Master Plan as the example, can't they? You know?
Yeah.
Important stuff. It's important stuff. And then credit Film is Fabulous when you show the 2 episodes on BBC4 as well at Christmas. Oh, listen, as ever, we've had a really big show. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Third Doctor Ian, Paul, hope you've enjoyed it all. Thank you so much for all your comments.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Especially this bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We love talking about Film is Fabulous. We love talking about the missing episodes. And we know that you guys do in the chat as well. So thank you so much for that. It's not going to be the end that we've heard of this, I am sure. Any opportunity to talk about Film is Fabulous and missing episodes, we're going to be here to talk about it. As ever, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Please subscribe. If you're not new to the channel, thank you for your support. Make sure you are still subscribed. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a hype if you feel like it. We love a hype. So do all that. And share it if you want to as well. Recommend a friend to the channel. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? To Kirsty, to Problem Being, and to the Legion of James in the chat, thank you very much for all your work tonight. Great chat. To all of you for joining us in the chat. It has been fabulous. I hope you've enjoyed it. Oh, I can see people coming up. Great show, super show. Taxi for Whose Views? Good night, everyone, says Darren Reed. And Steve O'Neill is saying, good night from Wigan. Don't eat too many pies. Matt Enspiel, great show, gents. Everyone have a fab week. And what a show. Thank you, says Radian. Good for you. Margie, thank you for another great show. Have a great week. Nice one, chap, says Digital Pollution. And Dystopian Nightmare. Film is fabulous, and you guys are too. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. What a great community we have here. We really, really love it. If you're interested, I'll be back tomorrow live on the channel, 8 o'clock, for Blake 7, our review of Season 2, Episode 2, Shadow. We'll be back later in the week with our Tomb of the Cybermen review. That'll be great. Come and join us for that. And, of course, your big show on Sunday. All coming up for you. From Third Doctor Ian, from Paul and myself, great to see you all. Take care, and we'll see you again very soon. Ta-ra, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye.
Ta-ra.